those bubbles? That mouth-watering waterfall? Delicious. Ice cold. And zero sugar. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Hi, this is Coach DeBoer. Tackle game day with the great taste of Coke Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? Try and decide. Roll Tide.
Crimson Tide football lives here. This is Alabama Crimson Tide football from Learfield.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk, do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all the roads we travel, and all of our traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter. Brought to you by the Texas Department of Transportation.
Makes it easy.
Get ready to rev up your engines and feel the excitement at Barkley Buick GMC Cadillac. We've got the perfect ride to match your style and adventure. Visit us at our showroom at Sky.
Starting lineups are brought to you by Bruins. As we look forward to this, the first of 4 on the year between these two teams. The Bruins will be in Ottawa January the 18th. Ottawa back here on January the 23rd. And the Bees will close things out in Ottawa on March the 13th. Senators looking to end a 2-game losing streak, as mentioned. Coming off a disappointing 4-2 loss to the Islanders on Thursday. The Boston Bruins are fresh off a 4-3 overtime win over the Flames on Thursday night as well. Key Atlantic Division matchup. Our opening face-off is brought to you by Honda Ontario, and this one is underway with the play-by-play. Here's Dean.
And off the draw, the Senators move.
Black pants.
Cyfred. We now ask that you please rise if you're able to, remove your hats, and welcome Pike Major Alexander Brown of the 48th Highlanders of Canada as he performs Amazing Grace, followed by a moment of silence. We ask that you remain standing and join Natalie Morris, accompanied by the flag party from His Majesty's Canadian Ship York, in the singing of our national.
All right, Jim, Ralph, and Joe Bone will have the call. The first period next. You're listening to Molson Lace Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
You either put up or shut up. Marchand does, Doughty does, Stone does. And if you don't have enough of those players, get rid of them, because they'll make you lose. They'll frustrate the fan base. I want...
We stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
For the second time this season, we'll have the Toronto Maple Leafs and Montreal Canadiens link up, and it's the first time in over a calendar year that the Toronto Maple Leafs will play host to the Montreal Canadiens inside Scotiabank Arena. As we'll get you introduced to the starting netminders tonight. For Toronto, Anthony Stolarz has been terrific this year, but they will go to Joseph Woll tonight after Stolarz got the win against
last season.
The heart out of these Tigers. And then defensively, we talked about it, some of the keys in the game is the secondary has to match up in that zone coverage when a receiver comes into their area. Because once again, I think that's the matchup everybody wants to see. How has this secondary for Alabama progressed over the course of the year? Going to be against Kyron Lacey, Aaron Anderson, some of these talented receivers for LSU.
Hey, the star to watch is presented by Tito's. And Tito's Handmade Vodka is teaming up with the University of Alabama to donate 150 tickets to VetTix. That's an organization offering active service members and veterans tickets to this season's Alabama Crimson Tide home games. We are on the road, though, for this one, of course. Tyler, who is the star to watch, first of all, for the Tigers that you'll see?
Well, for the Tigers, I think it's Nussmeier. If he has a clean pocket and plenty of time to throw with, and we don't have a chance to disrupt him, he can be extremely dangerous. He's confident in every pass that he throws, and he's going to make some big plays.
All right, for the Tide, I know there's several, but give me one you're looking for.
You always go back and forth. I pick an offensive, defensive guy. Where's the emphasis? To me, though, it's Justice Haynes. I think that if he has 100-plus yards rushing in tonight's contest, something that he is very well capable of. We really saw him kind of take that next step in the running attack versus Missouri. Can he continue that trend here tonight? If he gets 100-plus yards, we're going to come out here with a win.
That would be awfully nice indeed, and the Tide is indeed running the ball much better, as we saw in the game against Missouri 2 weeks ago. You know, the plan in Alabama is to find more foster parents and parents to adopt children in Alabama. For more information on how you can become a foster parent or adopt a kid who needs a good home, go to dhr.alabama.gov/adoption. When we come back, we'll take a look at our starting lineups and more. Stay with us as we are continuing to count down to kickoff between the Tide and the Tigers right here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk, do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all the roads we travel, and all of our traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter. Brought to you by the Texas Department of Transportation.
No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State.
The best in Texas isn't just about being the best-selling trucks. It's about you and how Ford trucks help you be at your best every day, offering the technology and capability to handle whatever the day brings. And that's why we say,
Ford is the best in Texas.
Your moment has arrived. It's time to shed the normal day-to-day version of yourself and let your most fabulous self loose. Make your way to Wind Creek Wetumpka, because whatever your idea of fabulous is, this is where you'll find it. Wind Creek Wetumpka. It's your kind of fabulous. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Today's highlight is brought to you by Toyota. At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota. Let's go places. Get 3.99% APR for 36 months on a new 2024 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. Offer valid through December 2nd, 2024. Zero down for well-qualified buyers with approved credit and financing through Southeast Toyota Finance. $29.52 monthly payment for every $1,000 financed. Excludes tax tag registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
The Lilly Company is your local supplier for Toyota and Clark Industrial Forklift Trucks. With 6 locations in Alabama, the Lilly Company offers new, used, and rental equipment, as well as being an authorized parts and service dealer. More than just lift trucks, the Lilly Company is your one-stop shop when it comes to equipping your business or warehouse with the latest and most innovative material handling products and time-saving solutions. Check us out at LillyForklifts.com, proud partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Gear up for game day with a hearty win from Jack's. Score big with our hand-breaded chicken fingers and mouth-watering fried chicken, served with scratch-made biscuits and a spread of tasty sides. Jack's Catering is perfect for feeding the whole crew while you cheer on your team. Whether it's a game watch or a gathering with your family, we've got the flavors that everyone loves. Visit us at eatatjacks.com or download the Jack's app to start your catering order today. Jack's, all about the South.
Chris Stewart back with you here at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge as we continue to get ready for the matchup between the Crimson Tide of Alabama, the 11th ranked team of the college football playoff, and the 15th ranked Tigers of LSU. Former Bama quarterback and our broadcast partner here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network, Tyler Watts, with me as well as we look at the starting lineups presented by Transamerica, helping the Tide fans create financial freedom so they can live their best life. Let's take a look at the starters. First of all, for the home team, LSU going with Kyron Lacey and Aaron Anderson, the former Alabama wideout, in the starting lineup, along with C.J. Daniels, the graduate transfer for LSU as well. A pretty good trio available at wideout.
You know, these guys are so good with a short passing game, catching the ball and then getting yards after catch. So many explosive plays occur because of poor tackling with these receivers in open field.
You've got Will Campbell at left tackle, and at left guard, it will be Paul Mubinga, who's a redshirt freshman, getting the start there in place of a guy who is one of the best around but not available because of injury, Garrett Dellinger.
Yeah, and that's kind of going to be the key for this Alabama defensive front. Campbell's one of the best tackles in college football. How can you get pressure up the middle against this LSU front?
Also, for the Tigers, they will have on the at center DJ Chester, another youngster. He is a second-year freshman. Miles Frazier is going to be the right guard, and Emory Jones is the right tackle. Without Dellinger available, do they become stronger on the right side of the line, or do they lean more on the right side of the line?
I don't think that there's going to be much of an emphasis for running the football, at least not a commitment. I think that they feel more comfortable with the ball in Garrett Nussmeier's hands, distributing it to these receivers, than they do trying to make their living running the ball against Alabama's front four.
I talked about the three wideouts as starters who are very good, but I'm not so sure their best receiver is it Mason Taylor, the man who caught the two-point conversion to beat Alabama the last time we were here.
Yeah, what is he, about 6'7", it seems like?
Yeah.
I mean, he's always taller than any defender that's going up against him. He's a big physical tight end, used more, obviously, in the passing game, and he's a target. He is one that they love to try to create mismatches with. Alabama has to be careful on who is assigned to Mason Taylor.
Josh Williams or Caden Durham will be in the backfield. Both are capable, if not overly productive with their numbers. Still have to respect them, but the guy that makes the offense go is indeed Garrett Nussmeier, the junior quarterback who has had a couple of carries, but it's with his arm. Last week, he threw 50 passes, completed just 25 of them, or the last game, I should say, in that loss. He did throw for 405 yards, with 2 TDs but 3 picks was the big difference.
Yeah, and he got stepped on. His foot got stepped on in the Texas A&M game by one of his offensive linemen, and after that point, he really was not near as accurate. Of course, having a week off is going to help that, but how does he sustain 4, hopefully, just tough quarters of pressure coming out him? Can he maintain that accuracy?
For Bama defensively, Jamarian Latham or LT Overton will be at the Bandit. That's along the front, along with nose tackle Tim Keenan III, Tim Smith at defensive tackle, and Quay Rousseau will be the starter at what they call the Wolf position as well.
It'll be important for them, even if they're not able to get to Nussmeier. Only about half a sack per game for this LSU offensive line. But understanding where you are and if Nussmeier's about to throw the ball, being able to put your hands up in those passing lanes, hopefully we'll have a couple of called batted down balls by this defensive front.
In addition to the second-year freshman in Rousseau, the fifth-year senior in Q Robinson, expected to get a lot of snaps as well, and also Keanu Coote, who will be is a fourth-year junior as well. The stinger's going to be Deontay Lawson. He's a good one. Also, Jahad Campbell rounding out the linebacking core. In the secondary, Damani Jackson, Zabian Brown, free safety Bray Hubbard, who was good 2 weeks ago in relief, and also Malachi Moore and Devontae Smith in the back end of that defense as well.
And for these guys, it's about tackling an open field, making sure that yards after the catch are limited. You don't want to give up a 5-yard slant and it results in a 60-yard touchdown play. So make sure that you're in position, keep everything in front of you, force LSU to drive the length of the field.
Those are your projected starters for LSU on offense, for Bama on defense, and they are brought to you by Transamerica. This has been the Everwood Countdown to Kickoff. Everwood is the official treated lumber of Alabama athletics. Everwood, wood treated right. We're back with the kick. Alabama and LSU next on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This has been the Everwood Countdown to Kickoff show. Everwood, the official treated lumber of Alabama athletics. Wood treated right. Alabama football is also brought to you by SeatGeek. Find tickets to Crimson Tide games and more. SeatGeek. And by Guthrie's, the original chicken finger restaurant, and now an official partner of the Crimson Tide. Here we go. Kickoff is coming up next on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Coors
Lee came through with just 4.
Person who has to drive you.
A member of that top line with Anders and Bo Horvat gave the Islanders a 2-0 lead. Fourth line then came through early in the third period, give the Islanders a 3-0 advantage on Oliver Wahlstrom's first goal this season. In fact, the first goal for any fourth liner this year. And that ended up being a pretty crucial goal because the Sens got back into it, made it 3-2 with 5.5 minutes left. But Bo Horvat put it away with an empty netter. 10 seconds remaining as Semyon Varlamov picked up his second win of the year.
Well, for the Islanders, Isaiah George has become a huge story. With Adam Pelech, Mike Riley, and Alex Romanov still out injured, the 20-year-old made his NHL debut here Tuesday against Pittsburgh, logged 15 minutes and 41 seconds. But Thursday in Ottawa, he played nearly 24 minutes, was bumped up a pair, and had 4 blocked shots to
in the Park mobile app.
Like Mike Riley and Alex Romanov still out injured. The 20-year-old made his NHL debut here Tuesday against Pittsburgh, logged 15 minutes and 41 seconds. But Thursday in Ottawa, he played nearly 24 minutes, was bumped up a pair, and had 4 blocked shots to tie for the team lead. This morning, Patrick Waugh was asked what he's seen from young Isaiah George through just 2 games in the
Self-loose. Make your way to Wind Creek, Wetumpka. Because whatever your idea of fabulous is, this is where you'll find it. Wind Creek, Wetumpka. It's your kind of fabulous. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Cole Adams. And I'm Jeremy Bernard. We are all excited to enjoy the energy of Bryant-Denny Stadium this fall.
National Hockey League now, and again with so many
partner
provider of the New Jersey Devils. That's official healthcare provider of the New Jersey Devils, who will start Jacob Markstrom in goal tonight. Defensively, Johnny Kovacevic will be paired alongside Jonas Siegenthaler, and it will be Jack Hughes centering Jesper Bratt and Andre Palat. That line coming off a 4-goal output on Thursday in the win over Montreal. Nate Bastian, Curtis Lazar, sidelined with injuries. Nick DeSimone has been called up from Utica as Shimon Nemitz has been sent to the Comets, and that's the right play. He was a healthy scratch far too long. Saw some action last night in their game.
On this very special military appreciation evening, the starting lineups and the drop of the puck for the Isles and Devs tonight from UBS Arena. It's next. You're listening to New York Islanders hockey on the Islanders Radio Network.
Lock starting defensively.
There's a Copa Divino just for you and all of your rowdy friends.
For the whatever's next drives, choose Texaco with Techron this weekend and enjoy the thrill of the open road with unbeatable mileage. Download the Texaco app to find the nearest station. Texaco with Techron, forever in drive.
No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State.
The best in Texas isn't just about being the best-selling trucks. It's about you and how Ford trucks help you be at your best every day, offering the technology and capability to handle whatever the day brings.
Welcome to the College Football Playoffs elimination game. The winner, still very much in it. The loser, well, maybe up the creek without a paddle. Bama and LSU from Tiger Stadium next.
Here we go. It's time for Alabama Crimson Tide football on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Here we go! Crimson Tide football is brought to you by Coke Zero Sugar. Tackle game day with a great taste of Coke Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? Try
through the perilous fight, or the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, in celebration of Military Appreciation Night, we are proud to be joined by soldiers from the U.S. Air National Guard's 103rd Rescue Squadron of the 106th Rescue Wing out of West Hampton, New York. Tech Sergeant Eric Cooley, Tech Sergeant Declan Harley, Staff Sergeant Matthew Kluhowski, and Senior Airman Sean Wizakowski. Joining them at center ice are Devils captain Nico Hischier and Islanders captain Anders Lee. Tech Sergeant Cooley, it's your puck drop.
Between the 11th ranked team in America in the college football playoff and the 15th ranked squad in those same playoffs in LSU. The Tigers ranked as high as number 13 in the national polls. Alabama at number 11 there as well. Excited about the matchup, which is just a few moments away from getting started. We will catch the end of the alma mater from the Golden Band of Tigerland before they deliver our national anthem.
We lost our dear friend and longtime LSU football staff member, Charles Kylie. Please join us in a moment of silence as we honor his memory. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you rise and remove your caps as LSU's Reserve Officer Training Corps, the Percy Rifles, present the colors, and as Director of Bands, Damon Talley, conducts our national anthem. Saturday night in Baton Rouge, one of the special venues in college athletics, and so glad that you have joined us for our coverage of such here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. I'm Chris Stewart alongside Tyler Watts. Our broadcast host is Roger Hoover. Down on the sideline, I know they've got for our stand-in for Mike the Tiger that was a caged animal on the sidelines. I'll take my chances with our guy that seems to be ready to go as well. Damian Square, our Cooks Pest Control sideline reporter. How are you, partner?
I'm doing good, man. I've been head up with that Tiger a few times, and I always came out on top, baby.
As a player, it's a great venue. It's exciting. It's tough maybe to communicate with the noise, but I've heard your old coach talk about it many times, and Coach DeBoer here in the time we've had him in Tuscaloosa.
The noise is something you play off of as a visitor, isn't it? More so than being something that's a hindrance?
Oh, no. You want that, man. You want great environments, man. We came to the University of Alabama to play in games like this. I heard Brian Kelly make that statement, but we came to this university to play in rivalries like this in Baton Rouge, man. It's no greater feeling than beating these guys in their own house, man.
High atop the stadium, Damian, there's a lot of wind that's kind of circulating here. Tell me about the field. Can you feel it blowing down there?
No, it's not a lot of wind down here. There's a little drizzle coming down. Hopefully it stays steady like this, but the field looks good, man. I hope it don't get too sloppy out here, but down here it's pretty still, kind of humid a little bit. Yeah, good day. Good day for football.
Look forward to hearing from you throughout the course of the game quite often. We'll be checking in with D-Square, Tyler White's. The wet football, something you practice, Bama does.
A little drizzle coming down. Hopefully it stays.
That everybody does. It's something we make a ton of. If there's even the talk about rain in the days leading up to a game, as broadcasters, we tend to do that. Yeah. But as a player, it's football, right?
It's football, and you've pretty much throughout the course of your career had experienced a little bit of everything outside of snow, unless you're from the north. But it's not going to be a factor here this evening at all, and everybody wants to make a big deal of who does it affect more. Look, these guys have played through it. This isn't Pee Wee football. They're going to be just fine. It's about footing, making sure that you're staying balanced and on your toes and where you need to be. And that's really what it's about, is just making sure you're in the right place, doing the right things, not trying to dive around and things of that nature. But no, the weather's not going to be an issue at all.
The uniforms look very traditional for this matchup in Baton Rouge. It's almost always when Bama and LSU meet, the Tide wearing the road crimson and LSU the home white. They'll vary that look a little bit this season, but they're going to go traditional in taking on the Tide. They got the white jerseys with the purple and gold chevron on the shoulders. They've got, of course, the gold helmets. They got the gold pants. Bama will wear the crimson jerseys, the crimson helmets, the white pants with that great-looking crimson stripe on the side. It's a good look. It's what college football, it's what Alabama LSU should look like, feel like, sound like, and probably look like when these two teams get after it here.
Make it about the play on the field and not the gimmicks with your uniforms and bringing a Tiger out.
Here come the Tigers of head coach Brian Kelly. And in a matter of moments, we'll see the good guys come out of the tunnel. It's going to be tough at the moment, though, if they are, because there's quite a bit of smoke from the pyrotechnics that are impeding our view just a little bit. But from the reaction, I think our guys may be waking their way out as we speak. I know that the captains are out there with Damian Square. Our Cooks Pest Control sideline reporter will have the coin toss presented by Barkley GMC, the best place to buy a vehicle in Tuscaloosa. Proud sponsors of the Crimson Tide. Visit BarkleyGMC.com today. Barkley makes it easy as the Tide comes rolling out of the locker room to our right. The Bama sideline across the way from our broadcast position as the Tigers occupy the near sideline. And you may have heard Damian making his way out there with the Bama captains. As usual, Crimson Tide going with Jalen Milroe. Also, as usual, Tyler Booker, Malachi Moore, and Deontay Lawson. Kid Williamson's our referee.
This is red, you're going to call the toss. So this is the head, okay? That's the tail. What are you going to call? The bird. Oh, head. What is it? That's tail. You won. Also, you can't see the head of the bird.
We took the ball, baby. Get to start this thing off right.
Here's one of the toss. The further towards an option for the second half.
A preemptive call from Greg Penn III or Josh Williams, the captains from LSU, but they did indeed defer to the second half. Alabama's going to take the football, and Tyler Watts,
a quick start would be very nice for this Bama offense.
And we talked about the fan involvement and just the commotion and how loud it's about to be in here. I would love for Alabama to come out with their scripted plays to be just ran. Let's don't have any checks at the line of scrimmage. That way we don't have false starts. We don't get behind the chains. Let's just come out, call a play, and let's run it.
Our kickoff's going to be presented by Coke Zero Sugar. You can tackle game day with a great taste of Coke Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? You try and decide. A beautiful
Base purple, LSU in gold, and to the far side on the left, a gold base, and LSU painted in purple. Burrell approaches the ball on the tee at the 35, boots it end over end, and that one sails all the way out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And so it's 1st and 10, Alabama to start the game from its own 25-yard line. The Crimson Tide scoring 38 points a game. That's 3rd in the SEC, 16th best in the country. They are led by Jalen Milroe, the redshirt junior. He stands 6'2", 225 pounds, out of Katy, Texas. Today, the 23rd start of his career. Also, their second leading rusher, as Jordan mentioned. That's going to be a big part of the game, and we'll be interested to see how LSU defends that. So they break the huddle as they move right to left. 102,000 and then some on hand here tonight. A receiver to either side. And it's Jam Miller in the pistol behind Jalen Milroe. He's got his hands extended waiting for the snap. It's back, and he hands it off, and there are flags on 1st down. And it's a procedural penalty against the Crimson Tide. Our referee today is Ken Williamson. And with the way this crowd is, as loud as they are, it's going to be hard for fans to hear them, and it's going to be hard for the offensive line to hear their quarterback, too. It's going to have to be some silent signals up front today.
Yeah, it is, but the challenge with that is now the defense is going to start to time up the hand signal, so they have to figure out a way to mix up the snap count here.
1st down and 15 from their own 20 for Alabama. Everybody within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage on defense. Jam Miller is the running back, gets the carry, gets to the 20, gets 1 yard, and gets stood up there. So it'll be 2nd down and 14 for Alabama. Both of these teams well rested, coming off of a bye week. And for the Crimson Tide, 6-2, 3-2 in the SEC. Their most recent contest, a 34-0 shutout win 2 weeks ago against the Missouri Tigers. Shotgun for Milroe, 3 receivers to the far side right. 2nd down, 14. Here comes the second play of the game. Milroe looks to the sideline to check the snap. Now comes up to the offensive line to give it to his lineman. 5 is on the play clock for Alabama. Milroe lifts the right leg, gets the snap, almost drops it. Pressure comes. He's rushed back to the 5. Rolling far sideline, throws there. Ball is caught for a 1st down and then some. A juke to the 40-yard line, and a tackle is made there on the edge. Ryan Williams, his top wide receiver, knocked down by Ashton Stamps in a gain of 18 on 2nd and 14.
We're already starting to see the effects of the crowd noise a little bit with the offensive line. There were some guys on the right side that ran a run play while the left side was in pass protection. So keep an eye on what happens with the effects of the crowd noise. Great job right there by Milroe, able to escape the pocket and find Ryan Williams.
Certainly could have been rather disastrous. Instead, a gain of 18, 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Milroe with a handoff to Kendrick Law, the wide receiver, coming to the near side. He is cut down right at the 40-yard line. Defense ready and waiting. Paris Shand combining with Zy Alexander. First line and the 3rd line of defense combined, no gain on the play.
And that's the tough part of this crowd noise, because with motion, you have these timed up motions, and
everything is predicated on the snap. So it kind of eliminates you from being able to run that quote-unquote silent count because everything is so under control as far as with the crowd noise.
Officially a loss of a yard on the play, 2nd and 11 at their own 39-yard line. LSU presses up to the line of scrimmage. Milroe in the pistol. Hand off to Miller, the running back, who goes straight ahead, lunges forward, picks up 1, maybe 2 yards, but well shy of the 43-yard line. Savion Jones, the defensive end, crashing down for the tackle on the junior running back, who's got a touchdown in 6 of their 8 games this year. And it's going to be 3rd down long for Alabama, not 3 minutes into the game. 3rd and 9 officially. 5 wide receivers for the Tide, 2 to the near side left, 3 to the far side right. Milroe is up by himself in the shotgun as LSU shows blitz. Snap is back. LSU rushes 3. Swing pass out to the right. Caught by Kendrick Law. A wide receiver screen. He stumbles across the 50-yard line. Picks up the first down. A gain of 10 on 3rd down and 9. Well-designed play there by Alabama to keep the drive alive.
And LSU showed blitz right there, but they end up dropping 8. And that just shows respect for Jalen Milroe. They want to contain him. They don't want to get him started or allow him to get started with a huge quarterback run. So forcing him to be a passer here early on, that's been LSU's game plan.
1st and 10, Crimson Tide at the LSU 49-yard line. Moving from right to left on the first drive of the game. Play action. Milroe with plenty of time, looking deep, checks down near side to the running back Justice Haynes, caught at the 45, and he gets tumbled down at around the 41-yard line by Zy Alexander. Monster, Miller and Haynes out of the backfield, what we'll see tonight. 2nd down, 1 yard to go. And it's an inside handoff. They go back to Haynes as the defense collapses on him right at the line to gain. And it is an Alabama first down, a gain of 1. Whit Weeks, the leading tackler, makes the stop for LSU.
I like the mixture of play calls so far by Alabama. We've seen runs up the middle, we've seen some stretch runs, and then we've seen Jalen Milroe get out the pocket for some passes. But look for them to incorporate him more as a runner here.
Already a long drive. This is the 8th play of the game's opening drive for Alabama. It's Milroe with a keeper right up the middle. He's got a first down, then some to the 25. Open space, 10, 5, touchdown, Alabama. 39 yards. Jalen Milroe with a quarterback keeper up the middle. Veered to the left, even with the numbers. And with 10:49 to go in the first quarter, it's 6-0 Alabama here in Baton Rouge.
There we go, right on cue. I said they were going to look to get him more involved as a runner because they have not shown that yet. And we know, what did he kill LSU with last year? It was the quarterback design run. They've been keeping one of those runs in their back pocket here early on in their opening script. They end up getting the explosive 39-yard run right through the teeth of the Tigers defense.
13th rushing touchdown this year for Jalen Milroe. Ties him with Jalen Hurts, now of course with the Philadelphia Eagles, for most in a single season by an Alabama quarterback. Graham Nicholson with the extra point. His kick is good at the left side here of Tiger Stadium. And with 10:49 to go in the first quarter, Alabama on the game's first drive gets a touchdown, 7-0, and LSU will try and respond when we return here to Baton Rouge. You're listening to College Football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Dr. Pepper.
Amber Indian.
The NFC West is absolutely the 49ers division. The other teams don't really want to take control of this thing. The 49ers open the door for them, but guess what? It's going to close real quick post-bye week. Christian McCaffrey looks like he's coming back healthy. The 49ers are a must-play on going forward. They are going to run away with the NFC West when it's all said and done.
I hope not. My brother coaches for the Seahawks.
Amber Indian, weeknights at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on SiriusXM Channel 80.
Listen up, hockey fans. NHL on ESPN Plus is back. If you're like me, you're going to want it all. The hardest hits, the dangles, and of course, the sellings.
Be kidding me!
Enjoy every second of 1,000+ out-of-market games, exclusive matchups, and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus. Sign up today.
Kevin, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
The issues that we're talking about are cultural with the Dallas Cowboys. And it starts with the head man, Jerry Jones. As they say, a fish rots from the head down. Jason Garrett couldn't overcome it. Bill Parcells couldn't overcome it. Wade Phillips couldn't overcome it.
Right.
You have all of these coaches who have done well in the NFL at other places can't overcome what Jerry Jones has put in place and set in motion.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday mornings starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2. You're listening to college football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
10:49 to go in the first quarter, and it's Alabama with a 7-0 lead over LSU. Before we kick off on this opening drive for LSU, we now pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to college football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Dr. Pepper. From Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, this is college football on ESPN Radio. Up here in the booth, Mike Cousins and Jordan Reed. Mike Peasley is down on the field. We are so glad to have you here with us today. What a build-up, so much anticipation for this game. Both teams 6-2, trying to solidify their place in the college football playoff rankings. LSU trying to get into the top 12. This is a new era this year, going from 10 years of a 4-team playoff to now this year will be the first time that 12 teams make the college football playoff. And Jordan, it happened exactly as you predicted it would. Quarterback run, Jalen Milroe, 39 yards, gushes right up the middle of the LSU defense and runs for the score.
They've been waiting to run it just because in the runs, the zone reads that they have had so far, they have not been accounting for the quarterback. And there were some opportunities earlier where Jalen Milroe could have actually pulled the ball. But on that one, he actually pulled it, ends up going for a 39-yard touchdown.
Connor Talty kicking away for Alabama from right to left. And it's taken at the goal line, Xavion Thomas. Inside the numbers, near side, across the 15 to the 20. Breaking away to the far side, he's across the 30, down to the 40. He's crunched in by the sideline, but what a return. Almost right to midfield. He had one foot straddling the end zone, the other out of it. And it's a 50-yard kickoff return. Great field goal position for the Tigers on their first drive of the game. And LSU this year has been a tremendous passing team. Brian Kelly talked about all year how they need to be a better rushing team. In their last game against Texas A&M, they averaged a miserable 1 yard per carry. On the flip side of that, Garrett Nussmeier this year has thrown 20 touchdowns, and through his first 9 starts, he's thrown for more yards than either Joe Burrow or Jaden Daniels did here at LSU. Running back to his right is Caden Durham in the shotgun on first down and 10, right at midfield, going from left to right. Nussmeier with his left foot forward, takes a chest-high snap, looks left, throws that way to the sideline, and the pass is incomplete. Never really much of a catchable ball over that way, facing pressure from Quay Robinson on the toss to the sideline. Looking for Kyron Lacey on the edge.
Looked like there was a miscommunication right there. Lacey was supposed to stop maybe Garrett Nussmeier looked like he was trying to throw a stop route right there. Something to keep an eye on.
So 10:34 to go first quarter. Alabama leads LSU 7-0. And the Tigers have it 2nd and 10 at midfield. It's a pistol formation. Caden Durham behind Nussmeier. 3 receivers to the near side right. Snap and a handoff. Durham runs to the near side. Inside the numbers to the 35, to the 30. He's got one man to beat. The 15, the 10. And he is tackled from behind by Damani Jackson, the corner, who saved the touchdown. A huge kickoff return for 50. And this run for 45 to make it 1st and goal LSU at the 5.
Yeah, that was just a simple outside zone run right there. Great job perimeter blocking on their edge right there by the wide receivers. But Alabama had nobody on the edge. The safety rolled down slow, and there was nobody else there. That was a great run by Caden Durham right there. But it was just a simple outside zone run right there. Alabama has to get somebody to have outside contain. They didn't have anybody on the outside shoulder of number 86 tight end Mason Taylor.
So 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. Xavion Thomas motions into the backfield. Fake a handoff to him. Nussmeier rolling near side. Throws to the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Pass too tall for Tradez Green, the 6'7" freshman tight end, who's also intending on being on the basketball team this year, too, as we enter into crossover season. So 2nd and goal coming up, still ball the 5-yard line. They bring their regular complement of wide receivers back onto the field. Kyron Lacey, their leading receiver, onto the field here on this play. 7-0 Alabama the lead over LSU, 9:46 first quarter. It's a long huddle for LSU, wearing gold helmets, white jersey tops, gold pants tonight. The running back Josh Williams, the 6th year, the lone remaining healthy player from their title team. And with the play clock about to expire, LSU calls timeout. So you go back to that big run from Caden Durham, and we talked about it before kickoff. Both teams in the top half of the league in offense, bottom half in defense, and that's certainly the case for Alabama in the rushing game. They give up 145 yards per game on the ground. That's third to last in the SEC.
Yeah, if there's one area where Alabama has shown weakness on defense, it's on third down, but also being able to stop the run. This isn't your older brother's Alabama that we've known to be just a terror on defense. They have not been that this year just because they're playing so many young guys on all three levels of the defense. And we're seeing that even early on. They have a lot of young guys in the secondary and on the second level, and they're still getting a lot of game reps. And Alabama was just simply misaligned on that one. I don't understand how they didn't have anybody over the outside shoulder of Mason Taylor, but that's great for LSU because if there's one thing they wanted to establish in this game, it is a consistent run game.
Justin Jefferson, the linebacker, of all names to be playing defense here in Baton Rouge, sets him back. 3rd and goal upcoming for LSU.
And if there's one strong point on Alabama's defense where they have a lot of seniority, it's up the middle. Big Tim Keenan III and also Tim Smith, who's their leaders on the interior. You saw them shine right there.
3rd and goal from the 6. 3 receivers to the right and almost a triangle formation. Now Lacey breaks it up, motioning into the slot right. Snap back to Nussmeier. 3-man rush. Dart to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Intended for Lacey and broken up at the goal line by Jahad Campbell, the linebacker, one of the stars of this group. And LSU will not answer blow for blow on its opening drive, and the Tigers will settle for a short field goal with 9:04 first quarter.
That was just a terrific play by Campbell. Simple zone coverage. He gets his hand in there and makes a play on the ball. I thought it was a great throw by Nussmeier, but sometimes the defense just makes better plays, and that's exactly what Jahad Campbell did right there, being able to get the ball out.
So a short field goal try coming here for Damian Ramos. 23 yards from the left hash, kicking left to right. His kick is up, and it is good. And LSU is on the board. Ramos, 77% on the year. That's about the same as an extra point right there. And with exactly 9 minutes to go in the first, one drive down for both teams. It's Alabama 7 and LSU 3. This is college football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Dr. Pepper.
Great game. You got into the end zone again and again. How'd it feel?
Awesome. Like getting a new iPhone again and again. I just got the new iPhone 16 Pro today.
Really?
Yeah. And with AT&T Next Up Anytime, I can upgrade early every year.
Very nice.
Feel like an MVP again. Learn how to get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us and the latest iPhone every year with AT&T Next Up Anytime. AT&T. Connecting changes everything. Offer subject to change. Additional fees, terms, and restrictions apply. $0 offer may not be available on future iPhones. Next Up Anytime feature may be discontinued at any time. See att.com/iPhone for details.
If it's hot, it's here. The best new stuff is at GNC. GNC brings you some of the best new products first from brands like Optimum Nutrition, Ghost, Bloom, and more. GNC has the newest breakthroughs in muscle building, weight loss, and wellness, and the best energy drink flavors. If you heard about it at the gym, you can bet that conversation started at GNC. Ask a coach about the newest drops at your GNC store or shop our full collection online at gnc.com today. If it's hot, it's here. GNC.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like Bear Dynasty interior paint, their most durable one-coat hide paint ever. From a team color statement wall to a fan cave, complete with a mural honoring Nick Saban's 17-year dynasty.
Hey, I like that idea.
Nothing beats Bear Dynasty interior paint. It's everything you need all in one can.
Defend your game time with Bear and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Valid only when intended to colors from the Bear Dynasty and Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Color Collection.
Jim Basketball in our College Football Live studio brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Colorado up to 7-2, and Deion's kids both got it done. Shedeur Sanders, 3 scoring strikes. Shiloh Sanders, a scoop and score touchdown in a 41-27 win over Texas Tech. 4th road win this season for the Buffs. Jalen Milroe has run for a touchdown in 8 of his last 9 tied games. It has him up 7-3 with 9 minutes left first quarter. Back to Mike Jordan. Mike.
Now, Big 12 looking more and more interesting by the day. BYU still undefeated. They're in action right now against Utah. Colorado 5-1, and Iowa State loses again a second straight week. So they were top 10 before the college football playoff rankings came out, and now 7-2, not looking like they're going to be in the playoff. So Jalen Milroe, the touchdown run, 39 yards, tying Jalen Hurts with 13 rushing touchdowns for most by an Alabama quarterback in a season. And we've still got several weeks to go. The television broadcast on ABC, Jordan, showed the offensive coordinator Nick Sheridan for Alabama saying, "Let's bleeping go." Boom! From the coordinator's box. Real happy with the way he drew that up. And they've got a 7-3 lead as they wait for Aaron Burrell to kick it away. So the rain has already turned off here for the moment in Baton Rouge. Picked up a little bit over the game's first two drives. Doesn't move. We're in the clear for the night, but it has been sticky and humid all day from the time the sun came up. It was gray skies overhead all day, and the sun has found its home in the western sky, as they say here in Baton Rouge. Burrell's kickoff from left to right is out of the end zone. And let's go down to the field with Mike Peasley.
Well, Mike, you mentioned offensive coordinator Nick Sheridan. He was asked about Jalen Milroe this week, and he says his approach to just daily improvement is what impresses him most. He says, be where your feet are and be the best you can be every day. He says his consistency and his preparation allow him the best chance to play well on Saturdays, and none of that has changed based upon the opponent this week, and we saw that on the opening drive.
He's accounted for 26 total touchdowns now this year. An even split, 13 passing, 13 rushing. Leads the SEC and is fifth in the country. He's in the shotgun here. He's got two tight ends, wing right, two receivers wide to the right. And he goes under center on 1st and 10 from the 25. Play action, pressure comes to him, flips it off to the right. Jam Miller, the running back, with the catch, and he gets escorted out of bounds far sideline at the 30 by the safety Jordan Gilbert. Still pick up about 5 there. Milroe showing the quick reflexes, sees the pressure, gets rid of the ball, easy pickup.
Once again, keeping Jalen Milroe on the move just so he can use his assets, which is his legs. That's something that is very common in the game plan so far. We've seen it on design quarterback runs, and just now on the design quarterback play action right there.
Milroe is in the shotgun, a trio of receivers off to the right. Miller with him in the backfield. Hand off Miller, goes right up the gut, gets a push from behind by the tight end Robbie Oots. And it's a gain of maybe 2 yards there with Greg Penn, the linebacker, terminating that run. Set up 3rd down and short. 8:15 and dwindling in the first quarter with Alabama leading LSU 7-3. 3rd down and 3, Crimson Tide from the 32-yard line. This is an LSU defense that brings pressure. 26 sacks over the last 6 games, 10th most in the country on the year. Milroe in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the near side left. Raises and lowers his right leg, gets the snap, and it's a keeper for him off to the right. He's got pressure at the line to gain, and he's pushed out of bounds on the edge by the safety Jordan Gilbert, but the quarterback Milroe is too fast, and the scramble gets to the 37, a gain of 5, 1st down Alabama.
A very similar run that we saw on the explosive touchdown run for Jalen Milroe. They're using the running back, Jam Miller, as an extra blocker. So they're play faking with him, and Milroe is just telling him to go. Lead block, I'm going to find a way to get a crease to get the 1st down.
Smart offensive play design for Alabama. 1st and 10, Crimson Tide from their own 37. Shotgun snap to Milroe. He's got a clean pocket. Check down throw to his right. Caught by Miller. And he lunges across the 40 where he runs through Ashton Stamps, but not out of an arm tackle. And another healthy chunk of yardage to the far sideline. Past the midway point of the first quarter. Alabama by 4 over LSU. The check down throws are the smart ones here so far. Gain of 8, and it's 2nd and 2. 3 receivers left. Milroe the snap, and it's a handoff. No, he keeps it and runs to the far sideline. Out of bounds with Jordan Gilbert in pursuit. And now we've got whistles from the near sideline that blow the play dead.
Once again, nobody is keeping contained on Jalen Milroe. That was once again a simple zone replay. They just washed the backside defensive end down, and they're trying to rely on the safeties and the backside linebackers to really contain Jalen Milroe, but they're just giving him too much green grass on the edge. And if I'm Alabama, I'm going to continue to run those design quarterback runs because they've been so effective tonight.
They've been moving the ball at will thus far. 1st and 10 across midfield of the LSU 48. It's an empty backfield for Milroe. He takes the snap, looks left, fires there, pass is caught quickly by Jeremy Bernard, but LSU's all over it. They tackle him back to the 50. It's a loss of 2 on the first touch of the day for the first-year wide receiver transfer out of the University of Washington. Credit to Major Burns and Zy Alexander to stop the play in its tracks.
Remember that play, that empty formation. Jalen Milroe had a light box right there. Would not be surprised if they come back to that empty formation and try to run him up the middle.
They do again against a four-man rush. Milroe 2nd and 12. Throws over the middle. Ball is caught at the 39-yard line of LSU. And an immediate tackle comes in from behind to take down Ryan Williams. Jardin Gilbert with a hard-hitting tackle on a gain of 11. It's 3rd down and 1. And Alabama is going at a NASCAR pace right now. From the gun, Jam Miller is the running back, 3rd and 1. Milroe hands it off. It's a run up the middle. That's a first down. As Whit Weeks makes the tackle, it was Justice Haynes, the running back, storming forward. And Alabama is using the pace to its advantage here. 1st down and 10 with 5:27 and counting in the first. Still 7-3 Crimson Tide over LSU.
LSU has to be very careful. Alabama's going to come back to that zone read, and don't be surprised if Jalen Milroe pulls it and goes for an explosive play around the edge.
Milroe's got 3 receivers in the shotgun. Jim Miller, the running back, to his right. Now they reposition the formation. Miller shuffles to his left. Milroe goes to speak to every offensive lineman. 5 on the play clock for the Tide. Snap is back. Blitz is on. Throw to the left. Pass is incomplete. That could have been a big play for Alabama with Milroe throwing in the direction of the blitz. But the pass was off target, and so it's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, he had Ryan Williams one-on-one. I thought that's where he was going to go, to the right side of the field. That was one of the rare occasions of where they played Ryan Williams one-on-one. But LSU's got to start sending pressure to Jalen Milroe. They've been very cautious and very hesitant with sending pressure. They got to figure out a way to speed up Jalen Milroe's processing.
4:57 in the first. Alabama with a 4-point lead over LSU. Pair of top 15 teams here in Baton Rouge. 2nd and 10 Crimson Tide at the LSU 37, going from right to left. Milroe is in the shotgun. He's got the snap. Fakes a handoff, runs up the middle. This is how he scored the touchdown earlier. Gets tackled from behind to the 34. There is a flag down at the 32 along the near side as Deshaun Womack bear hug tackles the quarterback Jalen Milroe. And the clock stops with 4:50 to go in the first.
Offside. Defense number 15. Line up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. It remains 2nd down.
Well, that's how Deshaun Womack made the tackle. I guess he was offside.
Got a little bit of a head start right there. But those are the penalties that you have to avoid if you're LSU. You can't have those boneheaded mistakes, especially when you're playing such an explosive athlete like Jalen Milroe, and they're trying to get this passing game going. It's been a run-heavy, dominant game plan so far.
Milroe so far 7 of 8 through the air for 60 yards. He's also run for a team-high 51. 2nd down and 5. Play action. Milroe throws to his left. A lot of running room at the left side. Jam Miller inside the 15 and angled out of bounds by a trio of LSU defenders. They sent all of the momentum of the play to the right. They throw it back to the left. A gain of 19 for Alabama.
That was a beautifully design play by Nick Sheridan. They went with the orbit motion with a running back slip screen back to the short side of the field. End up getting explosive play to Jam Miller right there. Love the play design and the play call right there by OC Nick Sheridan.
1st down and 10 Alabama at the LSU 12, so they can still pick up another 1st down as they look to punch it into the left side end zone for the 2nd time in the opening quarter. 7-3, Bama in the lead. Milroe takes the snap, looks to run up the middle, veers left. He's at the numbers at the 10, taken down by Whit Weeks, the linebacker, at about the 7-yard line. Great patience there from Milroe, juke stepping to see what lanes would open and finding a little bit of a crease to the left.
He's letting everything sort itself out. That's all he was doing right there. Didn't want to make any premature decisions, and he ends up getting positive yards out of it.
He gets 5 easy yards, 12th play of this Alabama drive. They're looking like Army did earlier today against North Texas. Almost taking up a whole quarter. 2nd and 5 from the 7. 2 tight ends, tight left. Bernard out wide to the left, and now he's in motion from the near side to the far side. Snap to Milroe. Quarterback keeper spins out of a tackle at the 10, cuts to the far side, floats it for Bernard. It's off his fingertips, bounces to the ground, and the pass is incomplete. So it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up. Milroe had a design run left, came back from between the hashes, floated it trying to salvage the play, and the pass a little too long.
That's an experienced quarterback play, though, right there. That was not a design pass at all. He probably would have lost a chunk of yards right there if he would have tucked it and kept running it, but he threw it to the wide receiver, and luckily it was an incomplete pass.
And the Crimson Tide so far tonight, a perfect 3 of 3 on 3rd downs. This one comes at the LSU 7, heading to the left side end zone. 3rd and 5. Milroe is in the shotgun. 3 down linemen for LSU. Snap to Milroe. Four-man rush. Milroe throws over the middle to Miller, the running back, caught at the 1, and he is down at the 1-yard line, taking a hard shoulder bump from the linebacker, Whit Weeks. So LSU prevents the touchdown, but maybe not for long. First and goal at the 1. Crimson Tide hustle to the line. Milroe is in the shotgun. Miller is the running back. Handoff to Miller. He dumps on top of the pile, and he is stood up short. Maybe lost a half yard on the play. Usually in that situation, you want to leap over the pile, and he kind of just fell right on top of it.
LSU got very lucky, partner. They had 3 wide receivers to the trip side or to the wide side of the field. LSU only had 2 guys over there, but Jalen Milroe missed it. He got so fixated on the run. If he would have just threw the ball to the outside, it would have been a walk-in score, but he ends up trying to run the ball up the middle, and LSU stuffs it.
LSU defenders standing with their hands on their hips. They've been out there a long time. 15th play of the drive is coming up here. Second and goal at the 1 for Alabama. 2:15 to go in the first quarter. 2 tight ends off to the left, and Kalen DeBoer, the head coach for the Crimson Tide, calls a timeout with 2:12 to go in the first. So he didn't like the look. He comes out to talk to this quarterback, Jalen Milroe. 2:12 in the first. Alabama with a 7-3 lead over LSU, and the Crimson Tide will have it second and goal at the LSU 1 when we come back. This is College Football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Dr. Pepper.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors. So,
Lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1225. That's 800-777-1225. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big...
Introducing the...
Except he's...
It's been an Alabama-dominated first quarter here on this Saturday night in Baton Rouge. They've held the ball most of the first quarter, and they also have the lead 7-3 over LSU. The number 11 Crimson Tide leading the 15th-ranked Tigers, and it'll be second and goal from the LSU 1 coming up for Alabama after a timeout called by their head coach, Kalen DeBoer. Mike Cousins, Jordan Reed, Mike Peasley. And as Alabama called that timeout, you could see that there was a bit of gratitude coming from the LSU defenders on a drive that has gone 15 plays thus far.
Yeah, there was a lot of heads turned to the sky and saying, thank you, goodness, just because they needed a break on that one. It's been such a long drive. Alabama's been doing a good job of going tempo that those guys needed a break. But this also allows Alabama to get themselves together to get a good play call right here. This is a crucial drive, of course. This being second down, you have 2 more opportunities to hopefully punch it in. Keep an eye on the middle of the field. They've been doing a good job of attacking the middle. We were talking about this a little bit during the break. They seem to like something with the lack of depth of LSU's linebackers, just because most of their plays have primarily been attacking the middle so far tonight.
An LSU for the remainder of the season at linebacker, notably, is without one of the best athletes at that position in college football, and that's Harold Perkins, who's done for the year with a torn Achilles. That's in addition to defensive tackle Jacobian Guillory out for the year. So out of the timeout to the left end zone, painted in gold, second and goal at the 1. Jalen Milroe in the shotgun. Justice Haynes, the running back, sidecar to his left, 1 receiver out wide to the right. Snap back to Milroe. Handoff Haynes. He's stonewalled at the goal line and wrapped up short of the goal line. Inside the 1. And the official from the near sideline rushes over, signaling touchdown. That was not the initial call from anybody closer to the play. And the official from the near side, after the play looked like it had been blown dead, came in both arms raised to the sky and signals touchdown, Alabama.
I think we're going to get a review here. Oh, good second effort. It's tough to tell from that angle, but a knee might have been down very early.
This is going to go to replay review. There's no doubt about it.
No doubt about it. It has to.
Rolling on the field was a touchdown. That previous play is under review.
So that's Ken Williamson, our referee, who will get on the horn with John Allman, the replay official. As we get a look at the replay, it's Haynes initially stood up, and they have to have indisputable video evidence to overturn the call on the field. And based on what we're seeing right now from the look on ABC TV, I think this is going to be 3rd and goal at the 1.
Looks like his left elbow was down prematurely with the ball on about the half-yard line. So we're going to get 3rd and goal here, and they're going to be on about the half-yard line. This is going to be a big opportunity for both teams.
Interesting to note there, too, the only receiver they had lined up out wide, which was wide to the right, was Kendrick Law, who's only caught 8 passes this year, but he's their speediest receiver who they like to use in the run game as well. So they don't necessarily use the tight ends here down at this part of the field, but they can mix it up between running back, quarterback, or a handoff to a wide receiver.
And that's something that you notice on tape about Alabama, just watching them throughout this season. Their run game really has been predicated on wide receivers blocking on the perimeter. You can tell they take pride in that. There's an old saying that wide receiver blocks on the perimeter lead to explosive plays. When you want to have those long runs down the field, those wide receivers have to take pride in blocking. But if I'm OC Nick Sheridan here, you cannot be predictable right here. Don't just run the ball up the middle. I will look for something to Jalen Milroe, or they could look to sneak the tight end out of the backfield. That would not be surprising at all. Robbie Oots, who's been a big part of their run game so far this season, it would not be surprising for them to scheme a touch. Something that's just not unpredictable here. You cannot be predictable in this predicament here. You have to figure out a way to expect the unexpected.
We're still in a replay review, reviewing a play on the field that was called a touchdown for Alabama. But based on what we've seen, we anticipate that this touchdown will be wiped off and set up 3rd and goal of the 1 for the Crimson Tide. As it stands now, counting the touchdown, 13-3 in favor of number 11 Alabama over number 15 LSU. 1:56 to go here in the first quarter. All time, the 89th meeting between Alabama and LSU. And here's the call.
After further review, rolling on the field stands. Touchdown.
That's baffling. I don't agree with that call at all.
Me either. Wow.
It was a late call from the official coming over on the near side. None of the other officials made that same assessment, and based on what we saw on replay review, it does not appear to be the right call.
Yeah, I'm really, really surprised by that. It was clear that his left elbow touched down before the ball crossed the plane.
So Brian Kelly doing his best to imitate Marcus Aurelius on the sideline. Stoicism for the LSU head coach, assuredly not pleased. And here comes the extra point from Graham Nicholson, the senior from Cincinnati, and he boots it through the uprights left side, no problem. So an already early lead for Alabama, 14-3, and they adjust the clock of the first quarter as well to put it to 2:06. Jalen Milroe really great on that drive, 6 of 8 through the air, 48 yards, 3 carries for 17 yards, and so far everything is breaking Alabama's way.
I really like how they've mixed up the play calling. You see some outside runs, you see some runs up the middle. You're seeing Jalen Milroe get outside of the pocket, and you've seen him make some throws inside the pocket. He's
3 carries for Meyer and the LSU offense are just going to be eager to get the ball in their hands. With 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, they have held the ball for fewer than a total of 2 minutes, and Nussmeier is 0 for 3 through the air. Connor Talty kicking away for Alabama. Xavion Thomas's first kickoff return of the night went for 50 yards, and this time he takes it at his own 2 inside the numbers near side. Sprinting across the 10 toward the far side of the field, slips out of 1 tackle, and he's down around the 17-yard line. That's where the Bayou Bengals will take over, down 14-3, and before they get going, let's go down to Mike Peasley.
Mike, a lot of frustration right now on the LSU sideline. During that entire review, Brian Kelly was having a very animated conversation with the head linesman about that particular call. And then when said the play stands, Gio Paez, their defensive tackle, just kind of slumped his shoulders, just kind of shook his head as he walked towards the bench.
And no doubt that 100,000 or so fans agreeing with that sentiment. First down and 10, LSU at its own 17, operating from left to right, as Alabama shows a one-high safety look. And now that even comes down closer to the line with Bray Hubbard. Handoff Durham on a stretch play to the near side. He's across the 20 and lowers his shoulders to rumble forward to the 24-yard line, a gain of 7. Here on first down, the safety Bray Hubbard, the tackle, as the rain starts once again. So make this sweet notch on the wall here inside the booth. Rainstorm number 2 of the night in Baton Rouge.
It's like a movie for LSU right now. As soon as they get the ball, the rain starts coming down.
But more of a horror film for them. Down by 11 here with 1:30 to go in the first quarter. Nussmeier in the shotgun, 2nd and 3 from his own 24. Tight end Taylor across the formation, run to the near side across the 25 to the 27. Should be enough for the first down for LSU. Gain of 3 on 2nd and 3. Deontay Lawson undercuts Caden Durham, the running back. 70 seconds first quarter. Alabama 14 and LSU 3.
It's going to be 3rd and short right here. And they marked him a little short.
So 3rd and a yard for LSU, trying to make it 15 straight home victories here at Tiger Stadium from the 26-yard line. Nussmeier's in the shotgun, 4 receivers. Tosses left for Durham with a blocker in front, and he gets enough for the first down yardage by just about a yard to the 27-yard line. So a gain of 1, 3rd and 1. The leading tackler on the year, Jahad Campbell, linebacker, the tackle. 34 seconds to go in the first quarter, and LSU, by a 1 second difference on the play clock, does have to snap the ball one more time here in the opening stanza.
No passes so far on this drive. Every play has been a run to the edge.
Josh Williams is the running back. They fake the handoff to him. Toss to the near side. Mason Taylor, the tight end, the catch. And he's hit at the hip and knocked down to the 35-yard line. A gain of 7. And that's the final play of the first quarter. It's the first completion of the game for quarterback Garrett Nussmeier as well. At the end of one quarter here in rainy Baton Rouge this Saturday night, the first in November of 2024. It's Alabama 14 and LSU 3. This is college football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Dr. Pepper.
Why do we love SEC football? Because no matter the venue or the rivalry, it's the ultimate hang. Fans of every flavor, good-natured trash talk with a side of andouille. Yes! But according to Johnsonville and the Harris poll, 71% of Americans hang out less than they used to. Why? Could it be that rivalries off the field are tearing us apart? Is it crazy to think a sausage-fueled tailgate party could unite us all? Can't hurt. Keep it juicy out there. Johnsonville, official sausage of the SEC.
In SEC country, the key to our confidence comes from having a goal and knowing just how we're going to get there. So in these pivotal moments, we come together for inspiration and a plan. Financial confidence in SEC country works that way too when you and your banker get together to create your personal Regions Greenprint plan.
I think that'll really work. Thanks.
So let's huddle up, because in an SEC world, we're the SEC Bank. Regions, official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC.
Gear up for game day with GNC. Just like your favorite college team prepares for their matchup each week, you can get ready to crush your fitness goals with GNC. Your coaches are in stores, ready to help you build muscle like a linebacker or slim down after a tough season. They have everything you need, including all the top brands, the new flavors you crave, the hottest protein, pre-workouts, creatine, and more. Tackle your fitness goals. Don't wait for the final. Just like your
from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's over $1,800 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Only at Verizon. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Over $1,800 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Jim Bass, winner of college Football Live studio brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Top-ranked Oregon in play late second quarter, extra point pending. They're up 20-10 on Maryland. Meantime, in a game on ESPN, 7th-ranked Tennessee leading Mississippi State 14-7, while number 10 Notre Dame has a 14-3 lead on 1-8 Florida State. 14-3 tied up top, start of the second quarter with Mike Jordan and Mike.
Well, Jim, it has just gotten a lot more miserable weather-wise here in Baton Rouge. It is raining as hard as it has all night. And as we made our walk from the parking lot to the stadium, 10, 15 minutes, I said, Jordan, in the car, before we got to the parking lot, there are a lot of people here tonight who are not ready to be rained on with what they're wearing, because this is an event. Folks dress up for this, and a lot of folks did not bring rain gear or ponchos tonight.
They did not, and nobody has left at all. The weather does not matter to these fans. They know that this team needs them tonight. This LSU offense needs a lot of help right now. They got to get going in the passing game, but Alabama has done a really good job of simply just running the air out of the ball, trying to limit their possessions. So LSU has to do a good job of trying to take advantage of the possessions that they do have. They have a little bit of rhythm going. You saw some early runs have some success. They're starting to have some success in the passing game to end the quarter right there to get a fresh set of downs, and this is a big down right here coming up for LSU.
2nd down and 3, coming off of a Garrett Nussmeier completion, his first of the night for 7 yards, going to the tight end Mason Taylor. 2 receivers to the short side of the field right, Kyron Lacey to the near side left. Nussmeier is in the shotgun, and the tight end Taylor tight right. Snap and a handoff right up the middle, and Durham is flattened coming up the middle. Deontay Lawson, the linebacker, just steamrolled Durham like he knew the play call coming out of the huddle, and it's 3rd down after a loss on the play.
This type of game is a linebacker's dream. You just get to fly downhill and just attack the run. That's what you saw with Deontay Lawson right there, just coming downhill and just making a big play on the running back right there, Caden Darrow.
Fortunately for LSU, only a loss of 1. 3rd and 4 at their own 34 as the rain lets up a bit, but still a pest for the passing game. 30 seconds in second quarter, Alabama with a 14-3 lead over LSU. Nussmeier is in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the nearest side left, turns around and calls timeout. That's their 2nd timeout of the first half. And what do you think he saw there that he didn't like?
Well, they're just taking too long to get the play in. When Garrett Nussmeier actually got up to the line, there was only 8 seconds left. And you don't want to feel rushed, especially when you're talking about a 3rd down. That is the one down where you don't want to be rushed. You want to take your time, get a good play call in right here, just because if they don't get the 1st down right here, this could be a momentum-changing type of drive. LSU has to figure out a way to get a 1st down on this drive right here.
Well, Garrett Nussmeier, the junior from Lake Charles, Louisiana, 10th start of his career today, 7-2 overall. How about the connection between him and Alabama? His dad, Doug, was the offensive coordinator at Alabama in 2012 when they won the national title. Said he remembers being on the field with the confetti, the trophy, loved watching A.J. McCarron. And Brian Kelly, tongue-in-cheek, his head coach said this week, told him to shut up. We're going to do that together here at LSU. So out of the Tigers timeout, 3rd and 4 at their own 34. 2 receivers either side for the Tigers. And the Alabama defense all within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Nussmeier claps, gets the snap, blitzes on, steps up under pressure, throws deep near sideline, incomplete. Too tall, intended for Kyron Lacey, his 6'2" leading wide receiver. And Lacey didn't really have a great chance at that. So they call timeout, do not execute. 4th down and 4. LSU will punt, trailing 14-3 with 14-13 to go second quarter.
It was a good play call. He had him open. Nussmeier just has to drive the ball. It was covered 2 right there, a corner in the flats and a safety over top. Lacey did a great job of finding the soft spot. Nussmeier just has to drive the ball and get it down and try to get it to him on the sideline.
Blake Oschendorf is the punter, the graduate transfer from the University of Louisiana. Just 5 punts this year. And Ryan Williams, the freshman wide receiver, is back at his own 20-yard line. Here comes the kick, and it's a low one returnable between the hashes, taken to the 24. Williams up the middle of the field to the 40, spins out of a tackle at the 45, and drags the pile across midfield, down the near side inside the numbers to the LSU 48-yard line. 1 minute gone, second quarter, 14 to play, and it's Alabama with the ball in a 14-3 lead. 28-yard punt return for Williams, and the Crimson Tide go on offense when we return. You're listening to College Football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Dr. Pepper.
The State Farm Champions Classic on ESPN Radio. Michigan State. Number 1 Kansas. Followed by number 7 Duke.
Here comes Flack and throwing it down.
Versus 23rd ranked Kentucky.
For the win!
The State Farm Champions Classic. Coverage begins Tuesday at 6 Eastern. With tip-off at 6:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
We know what's at stake. 30 teams in 6 groups. 8 advance, but only 4 get to play in Vegas. And just 1 will be champion. The Emirates NBA Cup. Lakers, Spurs at 7:30 Eastern. And Grizzlies, Warriors at 10. Friday on ESPN. Presented by State Farm.
Chris Carlin, Joe Fortenbaugh. This is Carlin versus Joe.
How goes the battle today?
Not well. Russo took up all my time on first.
Getting every single aspect of your drive. Are you a left lane Larry? Are you going to stay in the left lane the entire time?
Carlin versus Joe. Weekdays at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and on Sirius XM Channel 80. You're listening to College Football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Saturday night in Death Valley here in Baton Rouge, and it's number 11 Alabama with a 14-3 lead over 15th-ranked LSU as the rain falls down on the sticky and humid Saturday night. I am Mike Cousin with Jordan Reed up here in the booth. Mike Peasley is down on the sidelines, and this is a crucial drive coming up here. Alabama getting the ball after a short punt from LSU. A great return by Ryan Williams. So they're 2 yards across midfield. They've got it at the LSU 48-yard line and a 14-3 lead. LSU is simply not a team that is built to come back from a huge deficit.
Yeah, they're not. They're already not super explosive down the field in the passing game. So you can't get down too much just because it forces your hand, and Alabama knows exactly what you're going to do. So they have to figure out a way. Alabama starting with a short field already in great territory. They have to at least hold them to a field goal here, or at least try to get a 3 and out, either a punt or a field goal. They cannot give up a touchdown on this drive.
And Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe has been the star of the game thus far. He's thrown for 86 yards, run for 56 more, including a touchdown. He begins with Jam Miller, the running back, to his left, and 3 wide receivers on 1st and 10 at the LSU 48. Deep drop in the gun, throws deep down the middle of the field, and that ball is dropped at the 5-yard line. It could have been a touchdown at the 5. Ryan Williams bobbles, and don't know if the rain makes an impact on that play. He was already at full stride and full extension with his arms, so it'll just be 2nd down and 10.
Those are tough. That's one of the toughest catches to make as a wide receiver, just because the rain is coming down in your face. You're without the gloves already, and he had it in his possession. The ball was a bit slick right there, and it just slipped out his forearms. Huge missed opportunity for Alabama on that one.
So 2nd and 10 at the LSU 48. Crimson Tide moving from left to right. Milroe, hands extended, takes the shotgun snap, and he hands it off. Jam Miller tries to turn the corner to the near side, and he gets cut down shy of the 45-yard line. Gain of maybe 1 as Whit Weeks, the leading tackler, 2nd most tackles in the SEC, stops the Alabama running back. 3rd down and long, and a big opportunity for the LSU defense.
Have to get off the field right here if you're LSU. Milroe's going to have to make a pass, or he's going to have to scramble to get the 1st down.
The Tide, a perfect 4 of 4 on 3rd down. It's 3rd and 9 as the rain intensifies here in Baton Rouge. 2 safeties deep for LSU, anticipating a potential pass from Alabama. 14-3, Crimson Tide in the lead, 13-10 to go 2nd quarter. Milroe in the shotgun, play clock is at 0, and Alabama calls it 2nd time out of the 1st half. So whether it's the home team or the road team, play clock dwindling down to 0 and the quarterback either realizing it or not, it's not rare you see both teams suffer this type of difficulty where they're down to 1 timeout, all of their own doing, with 13 minutes to play in the 1st half.
It's the weather and the crowd noise. Alabama tried to make a late check right there. They looked like they saw something that they like. You saw everybody looking to the sideline, usually coming in from the offensive coordinator, Nick Sheridan. He saw something that he liked, but there just was not enough time right there. And just like what we saw on LSU where they called the timeout, just because you don't want to feel rushed on third down. You want to take your time, be patient, just so we can put ourselves in the best position possible to keep this drive going.
Alabama looking to win here. They've dominated this series. Their head coach, Kalen DeBoer, taking over for Nick Saban. Last time DeBoer was here, he was the offensive coordinator at Eastern Michigan a decade ago. And yes, they did lose that game. So 3rd and 9 out of the timeout. It's Milroe in the shotgun with 3 wide receivers. Deep safeties, including one roaming the middle for LSU. And they've, of course, got to be wary of Milroe as a runner. 10 on the play clock for the Crimson Tide. Milroe in the shotgun, takes the snap. Blitz is on. Pressure comes. Throw over the middle. Ball is caught. Tackle made at the 36-yard line. That's a gain of about 11 on 3rd down and 9 on the pass complete to the running back, Jam Miller, who escapes the backfield, and Alabama moves the chains.
It's been a consistent theme throughout this game. They're going to continue to attack the middle of LSU's defense. They know they don't have a lot of depth on the second level. And LSU defensive coordinator Blake Baker actually did send a blitz right there, and Milroe saw it. Great job of him dumping it off to the running back, Jam Miller. He goes and gets enough for the first down.
LSU only blitzed on one of the first 11 dropbacks, and it did force an incompletion. 1st down and 10. Handoff up the middle. That's a strong run that terminates at the 30-yard line. Gain of 6 on 1st down for Miller. Ashton Stamps, the cornerback, who gives up 30 pounds in that matchup, drags him down to the wet grass. So they bring Miller out, replace him with Justice Haynes, whose dad, Vernon, won the Super Bowl back in 2006 with the Steelers, along with our colleague, Max Starks. 12 minutes to go before the half. Alabama 14, LSU 3. 2nd and 4 between the hashes at the LSU 30 on a rainy Saturday night. Snap back to Milroe. Handoff left. It's Haynes trying to turn the corner across the 30 and cut down by a double team of Tiger defenders led by the linebacker Greg Penn. So in a 3rd down and short, Alabama stays perfect on 3rd down, converting on this drive. They're now 5 for 5 tonight.
Facing another 3rd down right here. Once again, put the ball in Jalen Milroe's hands, whether it's a pass or a quarterback designed to run. 3rd and 3, a run is still on the table. You have to be extra careful with your ball security because of the rain. I would not be surprised if this is a quarterback designed run for Jalen Milroe.
Now the quarterback for Alabama, 10 of 13, 97 yards. Their leading rusher, 5 carries for 50. So averaging a 1st down every time he runs with the ball. And it's another Alabama timeout, their last of the 1st half, and it comes with 11:06 to play before the break. So whatever it is they're seeing or perhaps not hearing in front of 102,000 plus, they are out of timeouts for the rest of the 1st half, but they're on the move and they lead by 11, 14-3, Alabama over LSU. 11:08 to go before the break. This is college football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Dr. Pepper.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything, like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and saute. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up, the food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town, with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now, when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a pepper thing.
This is college football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
It's a good night to be a poncho salesman in Baton Rouge. The rain continues to fall with 11:08 to go here in the second quarter. Alabama with a 14-3 lead over LSU. Number 11 versus number 15 in the country. As of today, Alabama in the college football playoff, and LSU trying to work its way in. Mike Cousins and Jordan Reed up here in the booth. And with this rain falling, Mike Peasley down in the field, it doesn't seem to be much of a bother for Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe.
No, and he was asked about it this week leading up to the ballgame when we saw the forecast. And they asked him if he played in rain before. And he's like, his sophomore year of high school when he was in Katy, Texas, he said, we played in a monsoon. And it didn't impact us. We were able to run the ball and throw the ball. It's not a monsoon here tonight, but he's been able to run the ball and throw the football as well.
He has been tremendous. Leading rusher at 50 yards, 10 of 13 through the air, 97 yards. They called timeout, their third and final of the first half, preceding this 3rd and 3 at the LSU 29-yard line. The ball is on the far left hash. Alabama operating left to right, trying to enter the purple painted end zone here at Tigers Stadium. 3rd and 3. Milroe is in the shotgun. And he takes the snap. It's a handoff, but there are flags down, and it's a false start against the Crimson Tide. That will back them up 5 yards.
False start, offense number 87. 5-yard penalty. It remains 3rd down.
And that's on the tight end, Danny Lewis, the redshirt sophomore from New Iberia, Louisiana. Just about 80 minutes from here, so homecoming, he sets him back 3rd down and 8. And Jordan, you said as we went into that last break, you wouldn't be surprised if there was some issue with the coach-to-player communication based on the burning of timeouts.
That's the only way that I can see them using 3 timeouts so quickly. There seems like there's a malfunction or some type of miscommunication.
Alabama a perfect 5 of 5 on 3rd down. This is a 3rd and 8. Milroe is in the shotgun. 4 receivers out on routes. Steps up in the pocket, fires down the middle of the field, and complete. He was looking for the end zone, and for the second time on this drive, he just overthrows his target. Looking for Emmanuel Henderson, the junior wide receiver with just 4 catches on the year. And relatively speaking, all things considered, that's a win for the LSU defense because they're going to force Alabama to try a long field goal this year, and their kicker, Graham Nicholson, has only hit 4 in 6 tries this year.
That's exactly the stop that LSU needed. They had to force a punt or a field goal right there, and they end up forcing a field goal. Let's see if Alabama can cash in.
52-yard try. His longest of the year is 47. Kicking from left to right, Alabama with a 14-3 lead. And the kick on the way, and that kick is no good. But there's a flag down.
Delay a game.
5-yard penalty.
Well, it was short to start. And what's got to be difficult for a kicker tonight now is it looks like they're going to punt rather than try another field goal. With a wet field, it's going to be hard to get your plant foot down, let alone the confidence of thinking, okay, this is just like any other normal day, because it's not.
And with the wet ball, the ball is heavier, so it doesn't travel as far as well. But this is an even bigger win for LSU, because now it goes from potentially a field goal to now not giving them any points at all because Alabama's punting the ball.
Even bigger. So it's 14-3 Alabama. James Burnip, native of Australia, on to punt. Line of scrimmage, their own 39, and this kick lands at the 5 and then bounces back toward the 10-yard line where Alabama pounces on it. Special teams often goes unnoticed. It's a 29-yard punt, but their punt team this year, for what it's worth, is allowing 1.3 yards per return, which is 3rd best in the country. That time, 0 yards on the return. Of course, LSU let it go. And now the Tigers take over, down 14-3, 1st and 10 at their own 10 with 10:54 to go in the first half. LSU did win the toss. They deferred, so the Tigers will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. But that's a long ways away. It's Garrett Nussmeier in the shotgun, and the running back Josh Williams to his left. Nussmeier to throw from his own 5. Down the seam right side, it's Mason Taylor with the catch. He's hit. First down and a big one across the 35-yard line. He points forward with his left hand from one knee, 26 yards on the second catch of the night for Taylor, who comes up big to get them out of the shadow of their own goal line.
That was a beautiful throw by Garrett Nussmeier up the seam, lofting the ball over the head of Deontay Lawson, just out of his reach. Great grab by Mason Taylor. That's the explosive play that they needed in the passing game.
1st and 10 at the 36. Fake the inside handoff. Toss it back behind him. End around coming to the near side. With speed up the sideline, it's Xavier Thomas, who they use in the return game as well. Across midfield, pushed out of bounds by Devontae Smith. 12 yards there for the first-year transfer from Mississippi State.
Now we have some rhythm going with the offense. It's the first time that we've seen that tonight from LSU, just because they haven't been on the field. Alabama has been so ball dominant with their offense. LSU has not been able to get into a rhythm tonight. Those past 2 plays were the best plays of the night for them.
3 receivers set, 1st and 10. LSU at its own 48, going from right to left. Nussmeier the snap. Back to throw. Screen pass to the near side. Running back Williams the catch. Across the 50 to the 45. Jukes his way across the 40 and gets toppled there. 3 straight big yardage plays for the Tigers. 16 yards there on the screen as they get deeper into Alabama territory, trying to cut down on the 11-point Crimson Tide lead.
Once again, just getting the ball in the hands of your playmaker. Not a lot of stress placed on the quarterback. Just get it to those guys and allow them to get yards after the catch.
1st down and 10 at the Alabama 36. Nussmeier leaning forward. Wade on his left leg. Receiver Lacey to the near side left, 2 to the right. Nussmeier back to throw against a 4-man rush. Fires deep far side, and that is almost intercepted, incomplete. Xavier Brown, the corner, had to go in and out of his hands. Flag is down.
Off the passer, defense number 50. 15-yard penalty, previous spot. Automatic first down.
Wow, and that really helps LSU. They'll go from the 36 of Alabama all the way down to the 21-yard line. That was thrown directly to the defensive back. He did not make the interception. So LSU catches not 1 but 2 breaks on that play.
And even if he did catch it, Mike, it would have came back anyway, just because of the roughing the passer call. Tim Smith just clubbed Garrett Nussmeier in the head right there. Just a silly foul by him. Just run by the quarterback and try to avoid him. That's just a silly mistake by him right there.
1st and 10 LSU at the Alabama 21. Nussmeier back to pass, looking to his left. Check down throw. Ball is incomplete. At the 20-yard line, it was a collision of ball and defender as Bray Hubbard collided with the running back Josh Williams, denying him the opportunity to make the catch on the numbers.
Alabama's really keying in on this underneath passing game, and they're breaking on everything underneath so far. LSU is going to have to figure out to continue to generate those plays in the intermediate and deep areas, just because Alabama is sitting on those underneath passes, just like what we saw against Texas A&M a couple of weeks ago when they faced this LSU offense.
First appearance of the night for Jawan Johnson, the freshman running back, here on 2nd and 10 for LSU. And they do give it to him off the left side across the 20. Angled out of bounds shy of the 10. Multiple flags come in at the end of the play. Damani Jackson, the defensive back, ushering Johnson out of bounds. 11 yards as it stands right now on the gain for the Tigers. Won every play with positive yardage on this drive. Have picked up a 1st down and then some. Still 14-3 Alabama, 9:20 to go.
Holding offense number 66. 10-yard penalty, previous spot. Repeat 2nd down.
Well, it's not an expected suspect there for the penalty. The left tackle, Will Campbell, who's been a starter now for 3 years.
Yeah, he's a big-time NFL draft prospect as well. Just trying to get the edge right there. He's got to keep his hands inside. Whenever a guy, an offensive lineman, bear hugs or they start to tug the outside of that jersey, that is always going to bring attention from the official.
2nd down and 20 LSU at the Alabama 31. Freshman Johnson stays in at running back. Swing pass to him to the right is bobbled. Ball is down on the ground, and they rule it an incomplete pass. It bounced off his hands behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 20 coming up, and no doubt the moisture, the rain, impacting that ball going right through Johnson's hands.
Definitely. You see all the guys have taken their gloves off just because you can't grip the ball when it's wet. You got to take those gloves off. And it's different, especially when you're going through pregame warm-ups. You practiced all week with those gloves on. Now being in the rain, it's a completely different grip for all these players trying to catch the football.
3rd down and 20. It's Nussmeier by himself in the backfield. Swing pass right at the hash mark. Josh Williams stutter steps his way forward to the 26-yard line. So on 3rd and 20, they gain 5. Malachi Moore, the safety, comes up, making the tackle, and the LSU field goal unit comes on. It'll be the second attempt of the day for Damian Ramos. So not ideal. Looked like they were going to have the ball inside the red zone. Holding penalty sets them back. Dropped ball, and now 8:43 to go. Field goal try on a 4th and 15. 43 yards for Damian Ramos. From the right side, Hash kicking from right to left. With a double-posted goalpost, and the kick is up for Ramos, and it is good. Off to the left end, LSU creeps closer with 8:26 to go. 14-6, number 11 Alabama over number 15 LSU. Here in a storied rivalry between these two teams. They are both charter members of the SEC. It's a rivalry simply known as the first Saturday in November. Don't bother marking your calendar because this game, Alabama and LSU, will find you. Alabama has dominated the series in the last decade, winning 8 of 10. They've won 56 games in the series to just 27 for the Tigers. So a win for LSU feels good, but a win at home is special. And for the first time since 2004 and 2006, the Tigers have a chance to win consecutive home games against the Crimson Tide. Last they played here 2 years ago, as heard on ESPN Radio, it came down to the game's final play, a massive gamble for the Tigers.
Jaden Daniels waiting. 2-point conversion for the win. Rolling right, throwing for Taylor. Makes the catch, lands in the end zone. LSU has done it. They have beaten Alabama, and they're storming the field here at Tiger Stadium.
Our excellent colleague Mark Kestershire on the call. All the way back in 2004, a year removed from winning a national title, Nick Saban's LSU Tigers trailed Mike Shula's Crimson Tide 10-6 at the half here in Death Valley and needed their defense to give them the lead.
Pennington looking. Hit from behind. There's Marcus Spears. Ball is loose. Picked up by LSU. Touchdown, Cameron Vaughn.
Late Ron Franklin on the call that night on ESPN. Later in that game in 2004, the Tigers take a 20-10 lead on this score by a future NFL running back.
And Coach Saban's LSU Tigers have won this one 26-10. So the final LSU 26, Alabama 10 coming up next on ESPN. It is Sports Center. For more, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football on the internet.
Joseph Adai, the running back, getting to the end zone. 6 years in the league, Super Bowl ring to show for it. And if it sounds like a long time ago, you're home for college football on the internet, 2004 was the year Facebook was invented. The next time that LSU hosted was 2006. And this time, Les Miles had replaced Nick Saban, who'd taken the Miami Dolphins job. And under Miles, the Tigers sprinted to a 14-0 lead, never trailed, forced 3 turnovers, and Jamarcus Russell threw for 3 touchdowns in that game.
Congratulations to LSU in front of the second largest crowd they have ever had at Tiger Stadium. They have an impressive win over Alabama, 28-14. Sports Center is coming up next.
Mike Patrick on ESPNU, and Les Miles remains the winningest LSU coach against Alabama, a record of 5 wins and 7 losses. Tonight, Brian Kelly looks to improve to 2-3 against the Crimson Tide. So far in the first half, not looking great, but a lot of time to go. 8:26 second quarter, Alabama with a 14-6 lead over LSU. Up in the booth, Mike Cousins and Jordan Reed. Mike Peasley down on the field, and we're glad to have you with us here tonight for one of the greatest rivalries in all of college football. After the LSU field goal, Aaron Burrell kicking off from right to left, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. We now pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to College Football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Dr. Pepper. Rain has picked up once again here in Baton Rouge, and it's Alabama with the ball in the lead, 14-6. And the 89th meeting between these two teams. Last year in Tuscaloosa, 42-28, the final in favor of the Crimson Tide. In the pistol formation, it's Milroe, who turns and hands it off behind him. Jam Miller lunges forward, sliding on the grass from the 25 to about the 27-yard line, tackled by the first-year Texas A&M transfer at safety, Jardin Gilbert. So Jordan, last drive, LSU's defense forcing a stop, No score from Alabama. What can they replicate from that last drive?
Well, for LSU, they just have to continue to matriculate the ball down the field. I thought they found some rhythm in the passing game, but for Alabama, they got to get back to establishing the run, especially in this inclement weather. Put the ball in Jalen Milroe's hands.
A 2nd down and 6, and they put it in Kendrick Law's hands, the wide receiver, trying to get the edge to the far sideline as they rush him across the formation. Gets about 4 yards there. And he's back in his home state, not particularly close to home, the native of Shreveport, about 5 hours by way of a drive. And it's 3rd down and 2 coming up. Alabama at its own 33-yard line, moving from left to right. 7:30 to go in the first half. And the LSU crowd, a revival of energy, trying to urge their defense to force Alabama off the field. Oots, the tight end, motions left of the formation. Milroe in the shotgun, looking to his sideline on the left. Alabama has no more timeouts. Play clock is down to 10. 7:10 to go in the half. Milroe in the gun. Snap is back. Milroe takes it waist high. Looking to his left. Scrambles out of the pocket. He runs to the 30. Picks up a block at the 35. And he gets the first down. Rolled out of bounds by the defensive end, Braden Swinson. And really for the first time tonight, that's where we've seen Milroe go through his progressions, not see anything he liked, take off and run.
That's where Milroe gets really scary, just because those are the things that you can't account for when he makes what I call those broken plays. And I think he has to do more of that tonight. And LSU, they have not been able to generate any pressure on him, but it would not be surprising to see him look to take off a little bit more, especially with the inclement weather.
1st and 10, Alabama at its own 39. 2 receivers, bunched tight to the formation either side, pistol formation. Play action for Milroe. He steps up under pressure. Now he runs to the 40 and slides down, giving himself up at the 43-yard line. 4 yards there. Funny to watch him slide, too, because the play is dead where the slide begins. But a night like tonight, you could probably slide 5 or 7 extra yards like you're in the backyard on a slip and slide.
I was just going to say that. You read my mind. It's going to be like these guys are on a slip and slide. You can probably slide 10 more yards, and they'll take the extra yardage if they can get it.
6 minutes to go, 2nd quarter. Alabama with a 2nd and 6. They lead LSU 14-6. Milroe in the gun, 2 receivers to the near side right. LSU shows 2 deep safeties and a potential blitz. Pressure comes. It's a run up the middle, and it gets the job done across midfield on the carry. Back to Justice Haynes, coming off his best game against Missouri 2 weeks ago. 8 carries, 79 yards, and both linebackers, Penn and Weeks, make the tackle. But that has been a weak point tonight for the LSU defense, stopping the rush right up the gut.
Once again, running through the teeth of the Tigers defense. That's something that has been consistent in Alabama's game plan so far. Center Parker Brailsford has done a heck of a job so far tonight. Tyler Booker, the left guard, number 52, also playing a heck of a game so far.
1st and 10 of the LSU 49. Another inside handoff and a lot of room to operate with. Down to the 42-yard line, gain of 7 for Justice Haynes. And now the formation, from what they showed, let's say, first quarter, early second quarter, they were spreading it out 4 or 5 wide. Everything is really tight to the formation, leaving the defense to wonder which way the play might go.
This type of game is an offensive lineman's dream, Mike. Tough, physical, nasty. We're playing in the rain. Let's put the game plan on our backs, and let's continue to run the football. If I'm Alabama, I would continue to just run the ball. They have not shown that they can stop it yet, so why stop running the football?
Alabama 2nd and 3 at the LSU 42. RPO, a handoff up the middle for Jam Miller, who is stopped at the 40-yard line, so still there. Even a play that didn't look like it went very far, gains 2. 3rd down and 1, and Alabama rushes quickly right back to the line, trying to catch LSU out of breath. 3rd and 1 at the 40. Snap is back, bobbled by Milroe, and he's taken down behind the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and that's about as good of an outcome as Alabama could have hoped for. The snap was like a one-hop ground ball to the shortstop. Milroe made sure to get on top of it, and now it's 4th down, a yard to go, and LSU feeling good. Alabama has no timeouts, but it does appear as though there's an injured player at the end of that play for Alabama. Not yet able to identify who that player is, laying on his side at the 43-yard line, right between the hash marks. Jaden Roberts, it's the right guard, redshirt junior from Houston, who is down at the end of the play as the athletic training staff comes out to have a look at the 6'5", 310-pound offensive lineman for Alabama. He's laying on his back now, his left leg extended, and his right leg halfway up. As the training staff surrounds him, and they lock their hands with his, ready to lift him back up off the ground. And they are keeping the weight off of his left leg. So they help him off toward the far sideline. 3:57 to go in the first half. 11th ranked Alabama leading number 15 LSU 14-6. 2 touchdowns for the Tide, 2 field goals for the Tigers. 3:57 to go. 4th down and 1. This is the spot on the field, Jordan, where an offense is inclined to go for it.
Yeah, it is. I think you have to go for it right here just because you're not in field goal range. And then let's show some trust in your offense. Your running game is working. I will not be surprised to see a zone read to jam Miller up the middle or some type of quarterback design run to Jalen Milroe. There's no reason to throw the football right here. Trust your running game.
Miller is the running back, and Milroe, the quarterback, is in the shotgun. 4th and 1 at the LSU 40. Snap is back. Handoff, Miller. He's stopped right at the line of scrimmage, and this is going to come down to a matter of millimeters.
He's short.
He is short of the line to gain, and it's a turnover on downs by Alabama. And the LSU crowd is going bonkers with 3:37 to go in the first half.
It's a great job by the first level of the LSU defense. Braden Swinson does a great job of getting penetration on the first level, stopping Jam Miller in his tracks. Great job. That's what you have to get on the defensive line on that 4th and short. You have to disrupt the first level and recreate the line of scrimmage. Braden Swinson did a heck of a job right there.
Second-year transfer from Oregon at defensive end for LSU, and the defense now turns it over to the offense. A chance to double up. 1st and 10 at their own 40. They also get the ball to start the third quarter. 14-6, Alabama leads LSU. Nussmeier drops to throw, flushed out of the pocket. He loses the ball at the 30, and there's a fight for it. Alabama takes over. One play into the drive, and Tim Smith, the defensive tackle, grabs the loose ball. Jahad Campbell, the linebacker, knocked it away. On a wet, humid, steamy night here in Baton Rouge, the Tigers lose the ball, and Alabama gains all the momentum and a short field.
That was an awesome play by Jahad Campbell. Watch how he just redirects. He gets Garrett Nussmeier down, and he just strips the ball out. That's a heck of a game-changing play by him, blitzing right up the middle, just showing off his athleticism. That's the reason there's so much excitement about him as an NFL draft prospect. 6'3", 245 pounds. He just tracked him down there like a deer, just running him down right there, and he ends up making a play, forcing a turnover.
So short field Alabama, just about where they were before the turnover on downs. 1st and 10 of the 32. Design run Milroe. He goes right up the middle between the hashes to the 20, cuts back near side, 15, and jogs out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Paris Sham, the defensive tackle, was his shadow. 22 easy yards for the mobile quarterback, and they are into the red zone to set up 1st and goal. A nose to the ball at the 10.
Once again, going back to the well with the quarterback design runs. Jalen Milroe just being patient, just deciphering his way through the defense. I love how patient he's running tonight. He's just not ramming the ball in there like we have seen in previous weeks. He's being patient. He's taking his time. He's reading the lanes, and he's protecting himself, running out of bounds or sliding to the ground.
Now he's in the shotgun. 1st and goal at the 10. A receiver to either side. 2 tight ends left. Takes the snap, rolls to the near side, pump fakes a throw at the 15, and just throws it away toward the LSU cheerleaders in the near side corner with Braden Swinson, the defensive end, bearing down on the pressure. They'll live to see another snap. 2nd and goal at the 10. Alabama 14, LSU 6. The Tigers defense forced a turnover on downs, and then on the immediate succeeding play, turned it over to give Alabama a short field. 2nd and goal at the 10. 3 receivers to the far side left. Ball is on the near right hash. Haynes, the running back, to the right of Milroe. Trails for the center, snaps it back. Milroe runs right up the middle, gets through a tackle. He is into the end zone, across the S in LSU. 10 yards on the touchdown run for Jalen Milroe, and Alabama now leads 20-6 with 2:35 before the intermission here in Baton Rouge.
Put the ball in your playmakers' hands. That's exactly what Alabama is doing tonight. put the ball in Jalen Milroe's hands despite the inclement weather. Let's put the ball in our quarterback's hands. Quarterback design run all the way down the field on that drive. A great job by him to allow Alabama to take the big lead here.
Graham Nicholson for the point after. So rain continues to fall here in Baton Rouge, and the kicker's try is good. 21-6, Alabama over LSU. Oh, what a game of emotions this is. How fans, we allow ourselves to get invested in things, and the swing of emotions as LSU felt like, okay, things could be good. Can get it back to within reach, down just 8. Even if it's a field goal, it's 14-9 at the half, and LSU is in position to get the ball. Now, that's not to say 2:35 isn't a lot of time, but let's say your best case scenario is down 8 at the break if they score a touchdown, 21-13, and that's assuming that they do something that they've yet to do tonight, which is get the ball in the end zone.
A roller coaster of emotions, right? That's why we love this game so much. And just think about it from LSU's mindset. They get a big play, they get the turnover on downs, and they end up fumbling the ball in the very first play. Now the offense has to go back, and they have to answer and get what I like to call a double possession here, just because they get the ball here and they get the ball coming out of the locker room. So they have an advantage here. They have to go down and figure out how to get some type of points.
Connor Talty with the Alabama kickoff from left to right. Davion Thomas takes it at the goal line, runs between the hashes to the near side. He's at the 5, gets out of 1, now 2 tackles across the 10 to the 15, and he would have been better off taking the knee out of around the 18-yard line. Touchback would have gotten it to the 25, so 18 yards on the return. It also takes time off the clock. They do have 1 timeout and the 2-minute timeout as well. The real story tonight, though, is Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe. He's 10 of 15, 97 yards, and for a second straight year is slicing up the LSU defense. 8 carries, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. Garrett Nussmeier for LSU. He is 4 of 10 on the night for 54 yards. First and 10 at his own 18-yard line to give up the middle for maybe a yard on first down. Give it up to Josh Williams, the 6th-year running back. 18, his jersey number. It's a special one here. A tradition they started all the way back in 2003 for a player that they view as having the traits of a champion. Both of these teams 6-2. Some view this as a college football playoff elimination game. And now we've got whistles before this second down snap because it's the 2-minute timeout here in Baton Rouge. Alabama 21 and LSU 6. This is college football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Dr. Pepper.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. This holiday, trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's over $1,800 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Only at Verizon. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Over $1,800 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
With Eckrich, the official smoked sausage and deli meat of the college football playoff, it's super easy to score big flavor, even when you have no time between the laundry, your laundry list of responsibilities, and kickoff. You're still ready to go with perfectly seasoned smoked sausage you heat up and eat up. Whether it's Grandpa's famous chili dogs or your famous almost forgot the potluck deli sliders, Eckrich makes every game day taste and feel like a win. For extra delicious game days, just add Eckrich.
Imagine your team always looking and feeling their best in high-performance technical workwear. Cintas can make it happen. They have garments for almost every job imaginable. And with the Cintas Workwear program, you get freshly laundered garments delivered every week for everyone on your team. Great garments without the bother of laundry. That's a real perk for employees. Find out how Cintas can boost team image and morale. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
This is college football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Back here at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. It's a 21-6 lead for 11th-ranked Alabama over number 15 LSU. Both teams at 6-2. both of them coming off a bye week, but it has been all Alabama thus far. Jalen Milroe etching his name deeper into the Alabama record books. 2 rushing scores today. He's got more rushing yards than he does passing yards. Now 14 rushing touchdowns this season, still with 3 weeks to go. So he tied Jalen Hurts back in 2016, who had 13 rushing scores, and now has 14 to stand all alone. 2 minutes to go in the first half. It's a 2nd and 9 coming up for LSU. Taking a look at Garrett Nussmeier today, the LSU quarterback. Numbers leave something to be desired. 4 of 10, 54 yards. And for a former quarterback, Jordan Reed, what do you make of this? The fact that 3 of his completions have been thrown at or behind the line of scrimmage.
It's not surprising, just because that's what their passing game has been predicated upon this year. They've really struggled with generating explosive plays down the field. Now, Nussmeier, is very good in the short to intermediate areas, but he just has a very average arm, so he's never going to be that guy that just launch balls down the field. So what they're trying to do in this game is just put the ball in the hands of their playmakers and just allow them to get yards after the catch.
Now Nussmeier, 10th career start, 7-2 as a starter. Spent 3 years as a backup, first behind Max Johnson, and then the last 2 behind Jaden Daniels, who's now tearing up the NFL with the Commanders. 2nd and 9 for LSU on the near left hash, going from right to left. Nussmeier points out his protections as the rain continues to fall. Brings the tight end Mason Taylor off to the near side left. Snap back against a 4-man rush. He steps up, floats it to the far side. The ball is caught at the 32. C.J. Daniels, the transfer from Liberty, tackled out of bounds by Devontae Smith, and a gain of 14 yards.
That's a great throw by Nussmeier right there. A far hash comeback throw. That's an NFL-type throw right there. And then one we haven't seen him make a whole bunch this season, but that was a great connection between Nussmeier and C.J. Daniels on that one.
So they get the first down, keep the clock paused momentarily at 1:54 before the half. 1st and 10 at the 33. Nussmeier with time, sidearm check down throw. Running back Josh Williams gets out of an arm tackle at the 35, stumbles forward across the 40. Deontay Lawson tried to make the tackle, but did enough to break up the play. Then at 40 and counting, as they pick up about 8 yards there. Williams remains the running back to the left of Nussmeier. From the gun, quick throw out to Taylor on the right side. Caught at the 45. Tiptoes his way out of bounds at the 46. First down LSU. Stops the clock at 1:29 as the Tigers trail Alabama by 15.
All throws to the right side of the field so far on this one. Something to keep in mind on this drive. Let's see if they keep attacking the right side of the field in the passing game. They seem to see something that they like over there.
So it's Taylor spread out wide to the right along with the leading receiver on the year, Kyron Lacey. Alabama shows blitz as the linebackers creep up to the line of scrimmage. Nussmeier to counteract that. Barks out to the offensive line, brings Williams, the running back, to his right. Nussmeier has the snap, steps out of the pocket, rolls right at the 40, ahead to the 45, across midfield at the 50, and out of bounds a yard or 2 into Alabama territory. Justin Jefferson bringing the pressure on the linebacker spot. Nussmeier, not a great runner, but proving he's capable there, getting out, moving the chains, or rather moving the yardage anyway, and stopping the clock.
Something he's done a great job of is avoiding sacks. LSU only has surrendered 4 sacks this year, which is the lowest in the SEC. You got a great example right there, him being able to avoid and then get some positive yardage out of it by running out of bounds to the sideline. Big 2nd and 4 for LSU upcoming.
Only Army has allowed fewer sacks, and they almost never throw the ball. Nussmeier gives it up off to the near side left to the 45-yard line. That's C.J. Daniels, who was listed as probable on their injury report coming into today. That was 2nd and 4. They get 3 yards there, so 3rd down and 1 as they have to hurry to get back to the line. 1:05 and counting, 1 timeout. Handoff Josh Williams, a burst through the middle. Gain of 3 for a first down. The tackle Jahad Campbell, the linebacker. 1 minute to go in the first half. 21-6, Alabama over LSU. Tigers could really use a score here. They also get the ball to start the second half. Coming up here, the 8th play of the drive, and there's a flag thrown by the umpire behind the Alabama defensive line.
Like a false start.
Which would be rather detrimental here with LSU in hurry-up mode at the Alabama 42-yard line. We'll get the call from Ken Williamson, our referee here on this muggy evening. Williamson just making sure he's going to check with the Alabama sideline to see what the Crimson Tide under Caleb DeBoer want to do, as the guidance comes in from the other side as well. LSU along the near sideline. It's quite an elongated discussion from the officiating crew, so it may not be as simple as it first appeared.
False start. Offense number 79. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down. Because the foul caused the clock to stop with less than 2 minutes to play in the second half, there'll be a 10-second subtraction to the game clock. Clock operator, please put 43 seconds on the game clock. By rule, the clock will start on the ready for play.
So that was the discussion. LSU could avoid that runoff if they took a timeout, but they've only got one left, and they want to be able to set up for a field goal if need be. Worst case scenario. So down to 43 seconds. First and 15 LSU at the Alabama 47. Nussmeier to throw off his back foot over the middle, incomplete, intended for Kyron Lacey. Great coverage there from Damani Jackson, who gave no quarter to Lacey.
What Alabama's doing a good job of is they're not allowing Nussmeier to set his feet. And when you're facing a true pocket passer like that, you want to do what's called flush him out of the pocket or force him off of his original launch points. And what you see is he's fading backwards away from those passing attempts. They're doing a good job of that on this drive so far.
Just 2 down linemen for the Tide. Second and 15 LSU. 2 receivers to the near side left. Anderson and Lacey. Tight end Taylor out wide to the right. With pressure, check down throw, caught by the running back Josh Williams between the hash marks of the 45. He struggles ahead to the 43. All that just to gain 4 yards. Clock is down to 28 seconds. They are not in field goal range. And LSU takes its final timeout of the first half. So they'll face a long field here, 43 yards. You're looking at a 60-yard field goal, so that's out of the question right now. With 28 seconds to go, what are their best options to get some points here before the end of the first half, Jordan?
Well, their best offense so far in this game has been screen passes. I would not be surprised to see them try to throw a quick screen just to try to get some type of positive yardage. But they also could do a traditional drop-back pass down the field. Now, what they have to be aware of is they have to have their field goal team ready in what's called a hurry-up or emergency situation, just because they don't have a timeout, and it would be 4th down. If they don't get the first down, they have to rush those guys on the field, and they have to be ready for what's called an emergency situation.
3rd down and 11 at the Alabama 43. 10th play of this LSU drive as they trail 21-6. Nussmeier in the shotgun. He's got a running back Durham to his right, 2 receivers to either side. 7 Alabama defenders along the line of scrimmage. Nobody has any timeouts remaining here in the first half. Play clock is at 13 as Nussmeier steps up to verbally address the offensive line. Now by himself in the backfield. Pressure coming. His throw off to the right, and that's to Durham. And that pass is complete. He falls to the ground. 20 seconds to go. 4th down. It's going to be at least 14 yards.
There's no urgency. They got to go down the field, try to throw a Hail Mary.
And they're not doing anything.
They're not doing anything. Oh, wow.
That's a give up at the end of the first half. Very poorly executed to finish the first half. It's going to leave the fans certainly disappointed here in Baton Rouge. But you know who's not disappointed is the Alabama Crimson Tide. 21-6 is their lead as they head to the locker room at the break.
Yeah, you couldn't have drawn up a better half or into the half for Alabama, just because LSU could have took advantage of a double possession right there, just trying to get some points out of that one, maybe a touchdown or a field goal, and then you come out of the half, and then you get the ball first. But LSU doesn't get anything. I'm surprised that they didn't even at least try to throw a Hail Mary down the field just to try to get some type of points or have a chance at getting some points.
It was 14-6 Alabama. LSU forces the turnover. They give it right back. Alabama scores. LSU produces nothing. It was a huge first half for Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe. And now here at the half, 21-6 Alabama. To give you all the particulars, Jim Basquill in the studio with the Home Depot halftime report.
Yeah, Mike, to get more specific on Milroe, 10 of 15, 97 yards through the air, but he's doing it on the ground. 8 carries, 98 yards, averaging over 12 yards a touch, 2 touchdown runs. Team record now 14 touchdown runs this season. Alabama, again, up 15 at the break. The college football halftime show on ESPN Radio is built by the Home Depot. Watch the game, not the grill, with Traeger Timberline XL from the Home Depot. Coming up next on the Home Depot halftime report, we'll take you around the nation with some top 5 upsets. This is college football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Great game. You got into the end zone again and again. How'd it feel?
Awesome. Like getting a new iPhone again and again. I just got the new iPhone 16 Pro today.
Really?
Yeah, and with AT&T Next Up Anytime, I can upgrade early every year.
Very nice.
Feel like an MVP again. Learn how to get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us and the latest iPhone every year with AT&T Next Up Anytime. AT&T. Connecting changes everything. Offer subject to change. Additional fees, terms, and restrictions apply. $0 offer may not be available on future iPhones. Next Up Anytime feature may be discontinued at any time. See att.com/iPhone for details.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Sounds like wipers. If your wipers are streaking, skipping, chattering, or even worse, loud, you need to visit AutoZone and get some fresh new blades. We've got basic wipers to get you back on the road, as well as premium blades from Bosch and Rain-X. So if you're hearing this, just head to your nearest AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Are you ready to unleash the beast? Monster Energy is here to give you the edge this college tailgate season. Loaded with bold flavors, our powerful blend gives you the energy you need to push you beyond your limits. Tune in all season long with Monster, the energy drink of ESPN Radio College Football Tour. Power your performance with a drink that's as hungry for victory as you are. Crack open an ice-cold Monster and dominate your competition. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Grab yours today.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the propane tank on your grill first before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Smoothbrook, Illinois.
This is college football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Jim Basketball back on the College Football Live halftime report. We're brought to you by the Home Depot with Alabama up top 21-6 on LSU as they play in Baton Rouge. Interesting day around the nation. Let's get you caught up on some of the games in play right now. Top-ranked Oregon all over Maryland, 29-10. Dylan Gabriel has a pair of touchdown passes. Tennessee up 20-7 on Mississippi State. That's also third quarter. At the break, the Irish have run for 157 up on Florida State. 21-3. Penn State has expanded their lead on Washington to 28-0. Ashton Jeanty has gone for over 100 yards on the ground, but Boise State in for a fight on this night against Nevada. That game is a 14-all game at the break. Oklahoma ahead of Mizzou 9-3. Pitt up on Virginia. That's a 10-7 count. Earlier today, Ole Miss getting it done against the third-ranked Dogs.
3rd and 6. Pass end zone going up. Juice Wells makes the catch. Got the foot down on the back of the end zone. Touchdown Rebels on a 10-yard strike from Jackson Dart.
As Mark Kessler on the call right here on ESPN Radio. Jackson Dart, that scoring strike. Caden Davis, 5 field goals, and their defense was strong, 28-10. 16th-ranked Rebels beat 3rd-ranked Georgia. Carson Beck, another interception. That's 12 picks in his last 6 games. Georgia has a team 15 turnovers in the last 6 games overall. Then you had enough 4 go down, talking about Georgia Tech taking out number 4 Miami.
Here's the snap. Tech only rushes 3. Dancing around in the pocket, escaping out to his right, still backpedaling, giving ground. He is sacked. Yes. The ball is out, rolling free. Jackets have it. Jackets have it. The sack, the fumble, and the recovery by Vandenberg. And Bobby Dodd Stadium has erupted.
That's the Georgia Tech Sports Network. Why not? They're bowl eligible now by way of a 28-23 win over the 4th-ranked Canes. Cam Ward threw for 348 and 3 touchdowns, but that turnover helped seal the deal as the Yellow Jackets, led by Haynes King, who had a touchdown run and touchdown pass, pull the upset. Meantime, number 5, Texas, no such problems.
First down, play action, and it sent a screen back to the left side. Here's Weiser, 45, 40 breaks free, down to the 30, to the 20. Say goodnight to this one. Trey Weiser in for the touchdown. A 50-burger to the house for Trey Weiser.
Yeah, one of 5 touchdown passes for Quinn Ewers. He threw for 333 and had this postgame with our Katie George.
Quinn, yesterday you told us you were antsy to play again after coming off the bye week. What did you think of the intensity and urgency you guys played with today?
I think we came out here and played our brand of football at the end of the day, and
if we continue to play that hard and that way, and with the intent that we did, I mean, we're a hard offense to stop and a hard team to stop.
Speaking of that, you had a career high 5 touchdowns. What did you like most about the efficiency you played with in the offense as a whole?
I mean, again, if we practice with the urgency and intensity that we practiced with the past 2 weeks, you're set up for success. I mean, practice and preparation equals peak performance.
And what on earth was Matthew McConaughey saying to you in the team box before the end of the game?
I'll keep that between me and him.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Hook 'em. God bless.
562 yards of offense. The Longhorns now 8-1, as are the Buckeyes.
Howard gets the snap, sets up at the Purdue 27 to throw. Fires down on the right flat, caught by Smith, 15, races to the 10, to the 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Jeremiah Smith. 17-yard TD pass from Will Howard. Jeremiah Smith into the end zone with his 9th receiving touchdown. 20-0 Ohio State.
That's Learfield as well. Will Howard, 3 scoring strikes, accounts for 4 total touchdowns. Ohio State 45-0 over Purdue, now 5-1 in the Big Ten. Then you have Indiana getting it done, first time in school history. They are 10-0.
Curtis is back in there at quarterback. Lawton to his right. Everybody is in tight except Omar Cooper to the near side. Here's the snap. He looks for Cooper in the end zone, and he makes the catch. Indiana scores. Omar Cooper with another terrific grab. Had to turn around as he was making the catch and pulled it in.
That's one of 2 scoring strikes for Curtis Rourke. 20-15 over Michigan. Indiana against spotless Kansas. Just their 3rd win. Take out 17th ranked Iowa State 45-36. Colorado gets a trio of scoring strikes from Shedeur Sanders in beating Texas Tech 41-27. They're up to 7-2. Clemson 24-14 over Virginia Tech. Cade Klubnik 3 touchdown passes. Army now 9-0, 293 on the ground. 14-3 winners over North Texas in that one. Meantime, as I mentioned at our break, Alabama up 21-6 on LSU. And coming up next on the College Football Live halftime report, brought to you by the Home Depot, we'll tell you how they got it done. You're listening to College Football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
The State Farm Champions Classic on ESPN Radio. Michigan State. Number 1 Kansas.
Got a big 3.
Followed by number 7 Duke.
Here comes Flack, throwing it down.
Versus 23rd ranked Kentucky.
For the win! Yes! Yes!
The State Farm Champions Classic. Coverage begins Tuesday at 6 Eastern. With tip-off at 6:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN. This is Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
DeAndre Hopkins and what he provides for Patrick Mahomes is something that Patrick Mahomes has never had since becoming a starting quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's never had a jump ball receiver. He's never had a guy with the catch radius of DeAndre Hopkins. He's never had a guy that if you just put it anywhere in his vicinity, he's going to come down with it.
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Listen up, hockey fans. NHL on ESPN Plus is back. And if you're like me, you're going to want it all. The hardest hits, the dangles, and of course, the sellies.
Be kidding me!
Enjoy every second of 1,000+ out-of-market games, exclusive matchups, and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus. Sign up today.
Which teams are making moves and which teams need to just flat out move? Your Saturday means I'm locked in and ready for First Take right here, Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Exclusively on ESPN Plus, UFC 309, Saturday, November 16th, live from Madison Square Garden. Heavyweight champion John Bones Jones puts his title on the line against the most accomplished heavyweight of all time, Stipe Miocic.
My own Madison Square, catch me at the fight.
UFC 309, Saturday, November 16th at 10 p.m. Eastern. Buy it on ESPNplus.com/PPV.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Monday, we'll react to Week 10 in the NFL. Plus, can Tua and the Dolphins save their season with a win against the Rams? We'll discuss it on Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
ain't many that are built like me. I'm the last of my kind.
For all the rituals and roots.
Most exciting 25 seconds in college football.
For all of us.
Our footprint is now national, spanning coast to coast.
And all of you.
This atmosphere, these people show up and go crazy.
Oh, yeah. Come for it all. ACC football, all season long on ACCN.
I'm the last of my kind.
You're listening to College Football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
June basketball back at the College Football Live halftime report. We are brought to you by the Home Depot. Alabama, LSU. They met 88 times prior to tonight's matchup from Death Valley. Each team coming in 6-2. Each can ill afford a loss with the playoffs in mind. The first half, our check-in is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Visit allstate.com or call a local agent for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Tide got the ball first. Their touch goes 8 plays, 75 yards, capped by their stellar quarterback on the ground.
It's Milroe with a keeper right up the middle. He's got a first down, then some to the 25. Open space, 10, 5, touchdown, Alabama. 39 yards. Jalen Milroe with a quarterback keeper up the middle, veered to the left, even with the numbers. And with 10:49 to go in the first quarter, it's 6-0 Alabama here in Baton Rouge.
That's his 13th rush touchdown of the season. He's run for touchdowns in 8 of the last 9 games. That tied a team record for touchdown runs, had Alabama up 7-0. LSU got a 50-yard kickoff return, followed by Caden Durham. 45-yard run, so they were quickly knocking at the Tide door, but Bama's defense would stiffen. LSU had to settle for a field goal. It was a 7-3 game. Next Tide touch, they go 15 plays, 75 yards in a drive that ended with maybe a bit of controversy.
Sidecar to his left, one receiver out wide to the right. Snap back to Milroe. Handoff, Haynes. He's stonewalled at the goal line and wrapped up short of the goal line. Inside the 1. And the official from the near sideline rushes over, signaling touchdown.
Yeah, that was Justice Haynes in from a yard out. Look, when they looked at it, looked like his elbow was down at the half-yard line, but they reviewed and the call stood, so it was 14-3. Alabama up top, 15 plays, 75 yards. And the rain came start of the second quarter. First play after LSU stopped the Tide on downs. Jahad Campbell strips Garrett Nussmeier. Fumble, and the Tide were on at the LSU 32. Milroe would go 22 yards to the LSU 10 on the next play, and 2 plays later, he's in the end zone.
Rails for the center, snaps it back. Milroe runs right up the middle, gets through a tackle, he is into the end zone, across the S, and LSU. 10 yards on the touchdown run for Jalen Milroe, and Alabama now leads 20-6 with 2:35 before the intermission here in Baton Rouge.
That's his 14th rush touchdown, so he takes over Jalen Hurts' team record with that score, and Alabama 21-6 up at the break. Kalen DeBoer, their coach, with our Holly Rowe.
Coach DeBoer, you wanted your quarterback to use his legs. How is he balancing the run and the pass? 2 rushing touchdowns already.
Yeah, I think he's done a really nice job, playing the elements and everything, and then, get the first touchdown, really got him in a rhythm. So, like where he's at right now.
He just ran in that last touchdown, and he came over to the sideline. You had a long conversation with him. What are you reminding him of? What is that conversation about at this point?
Just talking about that the game plan is going to keep coming full circle. The elements are going to change. Just stay within yourself. The next play is the most important play. Learn from everything that you see and keep moving forward.
Yeah, speaking of DeBoer, he's looking to snap a Tide slide, if you will. Last 4 Alabama head coaches lost their first game to LSU. That includes Nick Saban. Takes us to today's trivia question brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Who was the last Crimson Tide head coach prior to DeBoer to win his first game versus the Bayou Bengals? Answer coming up in the post game. And again, trivia is brought to you by Dr. Pepper. It ain't college football season without the delicious taste of an ice cold Dr. Pepper. College football, it's a pepper thing. Coming up next in the Home Depot halftime report, how about the second half from Baton Rouge, Tide and Tigers? This is college football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like North America's #1 home fire safety brand, Kidda. Because on a day full of football sounds you love, like fight songs, roaring crowds, and your favorite commentators...
like me, Kirk Herbstreit.
The last sound you want to hear is... Defend your game time with Kidda and the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Based on total household installations as of December 2023.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. This holiday, trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's over $1,800 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Only at Verizon. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Over $1,800 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text PIVOT to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text TIVOT to 42424. That's PIVOT to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Why do we love SEC football? Because no matter the venue or the rivalry, it's the ultimate hang. Fans of every flavor, good-natured trash talk with a side of andouille. Yes! But, according to Johnsonville and the Harris poll, 71% of Americans hang out less than they used to. Why? Could it be that rivalries off the field are tearing us apart? Is it crazy to think a sausage-fueled tailgate party could unite us all? Can't hurt. Keep it juicy out there. Johnsonville, official sausage of the SEC.
5-hour energy. When I pull up to the parking lot, it's time to level up. Dial in, showing out for your team. Listen up, get you some. Stand the fan to give you what you need. Fan fuel, game time. Turn up the intensity. Team colors bleeding out. 5-hour energy. For a limited time, get the fan fuel flavor at 5hourenergy.com.
This is college football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Jim Basketball back at the College Football Live Halftime Report. We are brought to you by the Home Depot. He was the difference in last year's kickoff between LSU and Alabama, and thus far, he's the difference in this one. Jalen Milroe, 195 total yards of offense, 2 touchdown runs, which now is a team record with 14 on the season. Alabama up 21-6, start of the third quarter. We send you back to Baton Rouge and our team of Mike Peasley, Jordan Reed, and Mike Cousins.
Well, Jordan, being surprised by Jalen Milroe running the ball well is kind of like being surprised by the sun coming up every morning. You just know that it's going to happen, and it was problematic for LSU's defense last year. So you look at Milroe in the first half, 8 carries, 98 yards, 2 rushing scores. Alabama held the ball almost 20 minutes to just about 10 for LSU, and Garrett Nussmeier, 10 of 17 for the LSU quarterback, 82 yards. 5 of his 10 completions were at or behind the line of scrimmage. We saw it at the end of the first half. They didn't even attempt to play after a third down screen pass that went awry, and they're not really taking shots downfield either for LSU. They're going to have to do that now, down 15 as they get ready to get the ball here at the start of the third.
Yeah, they have to establish some kind of rhythm on offense, whether it's through the running game or finding some rhythm in the passing game. They just don't have any flow right now, and that's simply because Alabama has been on the field so long, so it's hard to establish a flow, and you're really trying to over-criticize or over-correct what you're doing on offense, and you're putting so much pressure on yourself.
Alabama kicks off left to right. It's a touchback into the end zone. Moments ago, Mike Peasley with Tide head coach Kalen DeBoer.
Coach, before the game, you told me you wanted your team to start fast tonight. How were you able to do that?
Yeah, the offense did a nice job. The touchdown is a great start, right? And then, the defense has done a good job keeping them out of the end zone, so holding them to field goals and, got the takeaway. So, just complimentary football right there. We got to do a good job setting the tone here to start third quarter.
What's the message to your team at halftime coming into the second half to try to finish off this road win?
That it's a four-quarter game, and you're only as good as your last play. And so this next play is the most important one. And over and over, we just got to keep being relentless. That's what we've talked about all week long.
Thanks, Coach.
That's Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer. And we start the third quarter with an outside handoff to Xavier Thomas, the wide receiver for LSU. Picks up a nice chunk, 5 yards off to the left side to make it 2nd down and 5. It's Alabama with a 21-6 lead over LSU as the Tigers failed to score a first-half touchdown for the first time almost 2 years to the day, November 12th of 2022 against Arkansas. Officially 6-yard pickup on first down, 2nd and 4, Nussmeier to throw. He's got plenty of time in the pocket, throws right side hash, incomplete. Threw it behind Xavier Thomas, who fell on his back as he tried to stop. The ball was behind him anyway, and so it's 3rd down and 4 after the incomplete pass. Nussmeier today 10 of 18.
The decision wasn't bad. He just has to throw it a little bit sooner. He's got to anticipate that throwing window, and he's got to put it on him. He left it behind him, and he's just out of sync right now in the passing game. The options that he's throwing to down the field are open, but the ball placement just has not been accurate so far tonight.
3rd down and 4 at their own 31. Down 15 to start the third quarter. Alabama's defense all pressed up against the 4 wide receivers for the Tigers. Nussmeier and Clapp, snap is back. 4-man rush. Now comes to the near side, flushed out of the pocket. He's to the 20 on the run, the 25, the 30, and out of bounds up the sideline. He may have stepped out. Let's see where they mark him. All the way ahead to the 44-yard line. 13 yards on the run for Garrett Nussmeier. Great job there. He was a shoestring away from getting dropped for a loss, and instead it's a first down run.
We've said it time and time again tonight. Nussmeier does a great job of not taking sacks. He has just enough mobility to get himself out of harm's way, and that's what he's able to do.
Just 4 times he's been sacked this year, the second fewest allowed in the country. Drops to throw, 1st and 10. Heavy pressure, throws off his back foot. Incomplete and nearly intercepted in the secondary by Xavier Brown, who was diving for that ball as Tim Smith, the defensive tackle, came through on the pressure.
Interior pressure. Once again, left guard Paul Mabenga making his first career start tonight. We've seen Alabama send a ton of pressure on that left side of the interior offensive line. They're trying to take advantage of Mabenga making his first career start tonight.
Replacing Garrett Dellinger out with ankle surgery, who started 30 games in his career. Brian Kelly, their head coach, said the more experienced guard may be back in a couple of weeks. 2nd and 10 LSU at its own 45, moving from right to left. Snap and a handoff. Coming to the near side, Josh Williams spins out of a tackle at the 45 of the numbers. Forward momentum carries him to the 47-yard line. Hard-fought gain of 2 for the 6th-year running back, native of Houston. Just 90 seconds into the third quarter, Alabama up 15 over LSU.
Mike, these linebackers of Alabama are flying to the football right now. Lawson and Campbell are flying to the football right now. They have to figure out a way to slow down these guys just because there's no hesitancy with them flying downhill. They know as soon as Garrett Nussmeier is signaling to hand the ball off, he's handing it off.
There's an injured Alabama defender along the near side outside the numbers, surrounded right now by athletic trainers and the LSU huddle. So we'll give you an update on who that is as we have the ability to. And it's Quay Robinson, the defensive end team sack leader. Brings us to our first time out of the third quarter as well. LSU on the move, but Alabama with the lead. The Crimson Tide 21 and the Tigers 6. You're listening to College Football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Dr. Pepper.
Carlin versus Joe on ESPN Radio.
As an Eagle fan, is this line drawn in the sand. It's about a coach who's winning, but everyone thinks he's no good. One of 2 things is going to happen. They're going to grab the 1 seed and lose in the first game they play, or they're just going to win the next 3 Super Bowls. And we're all going to be sitting here trying to figure out the genius of Sirianni and how he's figured out this new method for coaching people.
Carlin versus Joe. Weekdays at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and on SiriusXM Channel 80.
The stars are aligned for a glamorous night of Monday Night Football in Hollywood. Tua, Tyreek, and the Dolphins are bringing the heat all the way to SoFi Stadium.
Fires, end zone, touchdown!
where Stafford and the Rams seek a show-stopping performance in the City of Angels.
Wide open, touchdown LA!
Dolphins-Rams, Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Jared Goff's my MVP right now. Lamar's been outstanding. But when I look at this Detroit Lions offense and the way that Jared Goff has been handling his business, I am so impressed with him. And I know that this Lions team would not be in the position that they're in without Jared Goff. He's been unbelievable.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday mornings starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2. You're listening to College Football on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
From Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, it's the 11th ranked Crimson Tide of Alabama 21 and number 15 LSU 6 with 13:31 to go in the third quarter. LSU has the ball. Third down and 8 upcoming here. Mike Cousins and Jordan Reed up here in the booth along with you. Mike Peasley braving the elements down on the field. Our statistician tonight is Kirk McCarley. Our spotter, John Tobias. Producer in the booth is Mike Martino, and our engineer is Robert Carroll. Fortunately for Mike and for the 102,283 fans tonight, it looks like the rain has really slowed down, if not entirely dissipated, and a radar that shows very little rain in the future as well, which is phenomenal news as the humidity has somewhat dissipated and the night has cooled just a little bit. Quay Robinson was the injured player, replaced by Quay Rousseau along the defensive line for Alabama. 3rd and 8 LSU. Nussmeier in the shotgun. He's got Josh Williams, the running back, to his left. 4 wide receivers ready to catch a pass. From their own 47, moving from right to left, down 15. Heavy pressure. Nussmeier throws off his back foot. Ball is complete to Anderson. Shoots the defender at the 50. Gets hit from behind. Tackled forward to the Alabama 46-yard line. Right near the line to gain. Devontae Smith makes the tackle. And a good job there of elusiveness for Aaron Anderson.